There we go.
Aw.
Dan.
Aw.
Oh no? Is it going to be a no this time? No.
Yeah! Let's go!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, welcome to the glitch-free hour. The Way of the Leaf is back for another Tavern Talk.
Oh man, yeah!
What do you think of this right to left switcheroo?
Yeah, it'll take some getting used to. I always turn this way when I talk to you, so I can do it. But
I'm worried about you having I'm worried about your neck having like a kink from that constant turning.
I'm not gonna say I'm a fan of it, but I am adaptable, Ryan.
I'm neither a fan nor am I adaptable. Oh, much better. Whew.
It's like sleeping on the wrong side of the bed. I mean, you can take a nap there, but you don't want to sleep 8 hours on there. Man.
Dan, real quick, I want to say that we need to address those who cannot watch this show live. And we got to think about this. People could be watching this next week, or it could be 1,000 weeks in the future. But either way, in the future, there's going to be these non-gendered, humanish, cyborg humanoids who are going to be watching this, and they're going to say, what is going on? And I want to tell them what is going on. I think that's a good question. We are a spoiler discussion show based on the Wheel of Time series. So we are going to be discussing everything Wheel of Time. If you've not read the show, please come back and join us for our Thursday live streams where we talk with a first-time reader. And we are in the midst of the Great Hunt. So we have expert guests, and we're going to pick their brains. And I think it's a good time to bring them in now. Dan, what do you think?
I think you should bring them in now. Our audience has their breath bated. I am kind of shaky a little bit. We have
luminaries.
The lineup, Ryan. We got luminaries. Yeah, bring them in. Open that door. Look at speed reading 2 books.
Oh my God.
Frenzy's enjoying and they lived happily ever.
Hey guys. Didn't see you there. I'm reading right now. I hope you don't mind.
No, that's fine. That's fine. No, we never want to disturb reading ever.
I really want a close up of that. No, close up of that book, Prince Adolin's husband. Oh yes.
Ooh.
Oh my God.
I just learned to read yesterday, so I've been having a lot of fun.
I would say pirate books. You start with a pirate book and you end with a pirate book, man. And it's pirate books all the way down.
I thought this would be about Bail Doman and Matt and Rand on the spray, but no.
It do no be. It do be no.
It do no be. It do no be.
Aaron, that shirt do be dirty. You should wash it.
Yeah.
But I don't have any other shirt.
Do wash it sexily.
Okay. That do be okay.
Slowly for me.
I love Kate Redding when she does Bail Doman. And I listen to her at like 1.3 speed. So it do sound like this.
Nice.
It's good. She has that whisper.
Kramer's Kate Redding. Michael Kramer's Kate Redding. Michael Kramer's... Yes. Michael Kramer's Sean Chan is very like Katharine Hepburn almost. Yes. Yes, you'll be our Devane. Yes. It's very great.
You are Leandrin.
Yes. Yes. I came here all the way from farm. What am I going to do here?
Guys, we have name tags here, but let me introduce and thank you for coming. We have Prince Adolin's husband, and we have MaryFrenzy. Guys,
hey.
Sorry to interrupt the reading, but we'll get back to it, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
But in the meantime, how you guys doing? You enjoying your Sunday?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It was raining here in Southern California, which is very rare.
It never rains.
It never rains in Southern California. There's a song about that.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Mary, you look like you are living the life right now.
I'm loving it.
Your
there
grass looks fantastic.
It is only the finest pet grade plastic, water free, green all year round, because I live in a very drought prone area of California. And I don't have to mow it. I don't have to water it. I can roll around in it, and I'm not going to break out because I'm allergic to grass. It's wonderful.
And it's clear that someone is off camera fanning you.
Oh, there's the pupper, and a pupper's right there.
There's my pupper, and then there's my other pupper, who's a little bit older.
Who's training who, buddy?
It's a mutual training exercise, I suppose. But no, this is great because I have to admit, I grew up on The Muppet Show, so being on the LeafCast with you guys is just like a dream come true for me.
Oh. Yeah.
I love it.
Well, we are thrilled to have you on. Indeed. And I'm glad that we have some California people here for once, right? We generally have them from all over the place. Let's get some West Coast is the best coast, man.
So nice. I had my organic smoothie today, and then I walked down Rodeo after driving off the 5 freeway. It was really nice.
Wait. You didn't take an off ramp? You just drove off the freeway? Like,
off the 5.
The Grand Theft Auto?
Yeah, that's how we all drive out in LA.
Just grab another gear. And...
It's a lot of structural damage, but we're all cool here.
Yeah, y'all get over it.
Quinoa.
Well, I mean, LA Story, right? Doesn't he his commute to work is down some stairs through a apartment complex,
and then he drives straight through the building he just came out of.
And he goes whoopash, and he gets so pitted, man, so pitted.
It's the only way you can get around LA, honestly.
Well, guys, you guys aren't our best friends yet. You're on your way. You've already passed the first step, and that's just being here. Welcome. Second step is you have to endure a welcome song. So I'm gonna lay down because I play guitar on my back. I cannot possibly play sitting up. I don't know how people do that. I need to lay down. So let me lay down here.
All great artists do work on their back. Michelangelo.
Go on.
Kim Kardashian.
Keep going. Yeah.
5 more.
Great artist. 5 more.
5 more. Mona Lisa. That's not an artist.
4 more.
Robert Jordan.
He did a lot of writing while he was.
He died, and people
feeling
say the best words. All right, so first off, guys, let me shut these cameras. Guys, everyone, shut up! All right. Dan, you are very loud, my friend. Move away.
All right. How's that? Is that all right?
That's pretty loud. It's a little loud.
This is?
That's better.
All right. Ryan, our show is kind of a book club and... Oh, shit. Hold on. Ryan, our show is kind of a book club and... where we talk about Mad Parent and Rand. But this is a true joy, man. I call this pleasure grand. Meet our new best friend, Prince Adolin's husband. But there's more. Some names are harder to rhyme, as you can see. I scoured that whole alphabet from A to Z. I want to scream all that is to be, from Laramie to Mackenzie. Yeah, those are towns. Meet our new best friend, it's MaryFrenzy.
I think we started a new trend, guys. That was amazing. Holy crap, Frenzy. That was amazing. Oh, holy. All right, let's get these guys. All right, are you guys going to commence talking?
All right, yeah. Thanks for holding on. All right, thanks. All right, sorry about that. All right, but it's a thing. It's a thing.
You do good work on your back, brother Dan.
Oh, thanks.
Really good.
Express that creativity.
Otherwise, my feet get in the way. I need to lay down.
That's
and my feet are huge.
The story changes every week of why you have to lay down.
Yeah, it happens. Ryan, is there anything you wanted to bring up or talk about before we jump into talking about this? Any show stuff? Anything?
Well, I mean, we just have do you know who next week's guests are, right? You want to announce those?
Yeah. Next Sunday, we'll be joined by Vance the Gleeman, the Bard of the Red Hand, and Ridima, YouTube sensation.
Nice.
That'll be a good show.
I think so too. This is going to be fun. And those Vance has been on we've been on the same screen with him, but he's not been on our show officially yet. So 2 new songs, guys. So I got to do that. All right.
We did do a live jam session with Vance on his special.
Correct. During the charity stream, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
We got a lot of money for that for some reason.
it was a mess.
They're like, please stop, please stop. Sending in all the dough.
Hit the fund just because they're like, all right. No, I'm sure it was fantastic.
Oh yeah, Vancy Pants. Yeah. So and then this Thursday, Todd is back, and we will be discussing the next 3 chapters of The Great Hunt. What is it? 42 through 45.
42, 3, and 4. Yeah. So 42 through 44.
Beautiful, beautiful. I can't do that.
We're getting there, guys. We're about, I would say, about 80% of the way done. Let's see. That's about 500. Let's see. 42 is 5. 6.
Yeah, we're like a good, that's like a finger of whiskey right there. That's 1 finger pour right there.
Yeah, we're just a 1 finger pour away.
That is a lovely finger pour of whiskey.
We're a shot. We're 1 shot from the end.
Nice.
Wait 2 weeks.
My fingers are thin. My finger pour is like, look at nothing.
Well, then you should measure by your feet because your feet are very large.
Your swollen feet.
Yes. Oh, Jesus. Wow. That's a lot of whiskey.
That's right. Yeah. That was my toe.
That was just his big toe.
We're actually like Attack of Titans. Like we're actually 20 feet high with tiny little heads.
So actually, before we jump in, let's learn a little bit about your background with this story in this series, and we'll start with you, Frenzy. When did you start reading? How did you get involved in the community, and so forth?
Sure. I started reading back in high school, which was, so long ago. It was last century. I picked up The Eye of the World at an airport bookstore because I needed a big, hefty book for a cross-country flight. And it was, I'm actually coming up on the anniversary because it was in June of 1991. And,
wow.
So I've been reading the series for almost 30 years now. I got the first book. I loved it. I was flying back east to visit family, and I pretty much ignored them because I had a really good new book. Then bought The Great Hunt and read that one, and then bought The Dragon Reborn and read that one. And then I was waiting for Shadow Rising to come out, and it did. And I was at the mall with my brother, and it was at the mall bookstore, and I saw it in the shelf, and I screeched like the fangirl I am, ran for the store. I'm pretty sure I knocked over a stroller on the way with a kid in it, and bought the book. And I said, "We're going home. I got to read this."
Nice.
And so I've been operating kind of at that level of fandom since the early 90s. It's a bit exhausting, but somebody's got to do it. And as you guys know. And then I found the online community back in the late 90s, Dragon Mount, Wattmania, a bunch of other sites, then really found a home at Theoryland. So I've been at Theoryland forever, pretty much, and still hang out there. They're having some technical difficulties these last couple months. We've broken the internet, but we're trying to fix it and get it back. And for the last year plus, I've been hanging out with our friend the innkeeper at the Dusty Wheel, and doing the Dusty Wheel thing since the beginning of that. And I've gone to JordanCon a couple times. I've gone to book signings galore. When Brandon Sanderson took over the reins of the series, I got to be one of the storm leaders for the Gathering Storm book signing.
Yes, wow.
That was
awesome. Cool.
An amazing amount of fun. The highlight of that was playing Magic the Gathering and getting my ass handed to me by Brandon Sanderson, which was great. I got to live tweet it as it went. And then this was before we knew the certain who killed a certain Forsaken that dies later in the series, and everybody's trying to figure out who killed this particular Forsaken.
We're all
and
spoilers.
He wrote the name. Okay, so it was like who killed Asmo, and he wrote the name of Asmo's killer in Korean on the tablecloth of the restaurant we were eating at, because the book folks took us all out to a really fancy dinner at a certain Italian family restaurant that a garden of small fruits that you make oil out of, whatever it's called.
Ah.
Really classy place with the paper on the table that you can draw on crayons with crayons. It was fun. And so he wrote in crayon the name of who killed Asmodean, and then tried to just, cross it out and everything. And, we're trying to surreptitiously cut it out so we could take it out and unblur it. Even back then we were trying to unblur it,
Oh
but
my
no,
God.
he wouldn't let us.
What
I
a
love it.
fiend! What a
Oh, yeah.
fiend!
Yes.
Oh wow!
Man, huh?
Of all places to learn about
Now,
Asmodean's
do you
killer.
think he could have just written gibberish and been like, yeah, that's
He could have. I unfortunately do not speak or read Korean. I can hear lesbian nerdy in the background going, oh, if I had only been there.
Yeah, and Vance, I think too knows some Korean.
Right.
I don't
Right, it
I
would've
didn't
been
know
great.
he knew. We all know Brandon Sanderson knew Korean?
Now,
I did not know that.
now we do.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Wow.
So that's been me.
That's awesome. I never participated, but I certainly read a lot of the theories and the threads that were going on in some of these forums. I had a mad crush on Lee Butler and her recaps and
Oh,
her
yeah.
point of view.
Those
Yeah,
were fun.
I really enjoyed like the theory lands and the dragon mounts and people would just be like, I was rereading this again today and this line popped out, and it would be like a 2-page thread. And it's great that everyone can still talk about this series. Ryan, you say that all the time.
Oh yeah.
I agree,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I'm having some mic issues. Let me know if is this sound a little bit better?
You sound fine right now to me.
All right. Every time I get exuberant, though, I get a red little dot.
Yeah.
I
That's
gotta calm down. Let's
Yeah,
be
calm
like,
down. It's all right. It's all right.
I'll be more like NPR.
Maybe there's a little ointment
Yeah.
you can put on it, if it gets too red and dotty.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Ryan,
all right.
just embrace your inner Terry Gross.
Oh my
This is fresh air.
Yeah.
Very great.
Instantly, our viewership just shoots up.
Oh my God.
Today we're talking with Prince Adolin's husband. Prince, can you tell us about when you... I can't even do Terry Gross. Can you tell us, please, about your history with this series, when you started, and how you got into the community and whatnot?
So in sharp contrast to that, I started the series in 2018. So ironically, I found it through... It's like 15 fantasy books to read while waiting for Winds of Winter, the Game of Thrones book, and Wheel of Time was on there, and I kind of went, okay. I had read A Song of Ice and Fire, but that was like the extent of my fantasy. I never had read epic fantasy. And so I was just like at Barnes & Noble, I had a gift card for Christmas, and I got Eye of the World. And I read the prologue, and I kind of eye-rolled a little bit when I'm like, okay, you can't just capitalize the first word of nouns and like make it fancy. Eliana, do you have the singing? Do you have the voice? And I was just like, what is even going on here? And so the first time I read only to book, I finished all books 1 to 4, and then I went, I don't think this series is for me. And I sold all the books. And then 2 months later, I went, you know what? I kind of want to know how this ends. So I bought the books again. And so by the end of by the start of 2019, I finished Shadow Rising. And I said, okay, this is going to take like 3 years or something for me to get through. I finished A Memory of Light in November of 2019. I started the last battle earlier that day, and I was kind of like, I'm like, okay, the Trollocs come, they run back. The Trollocs come, they come back. I was like, gotta pick the kids up at the sitter, let's go. And then it happened. Full spoilers, right? We could say full spoilers.
Yep.
I think once Swan and Gareth bit the dust, I went, wait, no. And so I'm at work, like on my break, reading Egwene dying and just going,
Yeah.
And so, I finished that night, and I got into the community 2020, really. Like, I was on the subreddit, and then I started doing Twitter again, and just went on Twitter of Time, found I followed all, the roleplay accounts first, and then was kind of out of it. I remember, and then eventually I kind of got into it more, and then I joined my first server, which was Master of the Decks server, and then I was still kind of on the outskirts, and then I joined in the Christmas. There was a live fundraiser where I saw Wave the Leaf for the first time. I think you guys just had like a board set up, and you guys were kind of like, it was very early Way of the Leaf, I believe. And so,
did I take my clothes off?
Not yet. No, I don't think you had. Not
Okay.
at that point. But it's just de-escalated from there, my role in the fandom. And so now I just kind of like, I'm very deep. I'm rereading the series again with my friend. We're doing a podcast where he's reading it for the first time, and I just have to sit there stone-faced while he's guessing very correct things. And I'm like, I can't tell you this. We're only on the Shadow Rising. Like, it's frightening. And I'm just like, Like, yes, there is a Black Aja, and it might be Viren, but I can't tell you that yet. Like, it's frightening, but I love being on that side of the equation because you get to see their reactions to everything. And The Shadow Rising is one hell of a book to get a first-time reader's reaction. You got Perrin returning home, the deposing of Swan Sanche, Ruidian, Asmodean, just all of this. And then I'm like, it just keeps getting better. So it's been super fun.
Yeah, with our first-time reader, I learned just to say, right on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know, that's kind of this neutral response, but sometimes it's way off and sometimes it's way on. He called that Ingtar. He's like, yeah, so Ingtar's a bad guy. I can tell he's a dark friend. I'm all, fuck you. How do you know that? I'm reading it, actively looking for that, and I still don't really see it.
Yeah.
He guessed that Swan was going to get stilled.
Yeah, he did say that.
Wow.
Right now, my first-time reader thinks Gaul is he who comes with the dawn, and that book 4 is going to end with a war with Ilian. And I'm like, oh, okay, all right. But he correctly guessed Moraine. He's like, I think Moraine's going to die, but then she's going to come back in some way. And I'm like, this was
right on.
Episode 1 where he said this, and I'm like,
oh God.
Okay. I'm like, okay. Yeah, so there's so much. It's so much fun because it's like you just have to be like, interesting. Oh, fascinating. Why do you think that? Okay. And then internally you're like, did you Google? Did you fucking Google?
Right. I had that thought once too. Because he called it the Dark Friend Mixer, and I'm like, wait a minute. But we may have said that. It may have just come out throughout just us. I'm not sure. But anyways, he also it just went out of my head. Celine. So his theory about Celine is that Celine was caught in the mirror world like a genie, and she needed someone like Rand to get her out of that world. And so he hasn't associated. I think now he thinks that Celine might beat Lanfear, but at the time he didn't connect Celine being Forsaken at all. She was just some weird magical being caught in this world, which I thought was awesome.
Oh yeah, no, that whole moment with Lanfear in the dream world where I caught it the second time, where she almost lets it slip that he's loose there, and almost like she says like you always used to, and then she like cuts herself off and goes like, well, anyway, and I'm like, dun, dun, dun. But my first-time reader hasn't connected that Gabriel is Ravine, because I kept trying to go like try to lead him on a little bit by going, when I'm like, because we were talking about Bilal, and I was like, yeah, it's always suspicious when all of a sudden there's this new person, like Lord Salmon and Gabriel. And he's like, okay. And I'm like, so do you think there's more dark Forsaken in power? He goes like, I'm like, all right.
Yep. All right, they're still trapped, huh? Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
They're still just vibing. I can't wait for him to meet Moghedien because she's my all-time favorite. So
you're in the same room doing the podcast.
Yeah, we used to be over like Zoom doing it, and then we both got vaccinated, and then we were just like, do we just want to start like just being in the same room? And we the last episode we did was the first time we were together in the. Oh no, that's a lie. 3 episodes ago is when it started, and so now we're recording live again, and it's this like great energy, and it's so much fun because we just riff and just go off on 5-minute tangents before getting back to it. So it's good.
Tangents are very unprofessional. I should tell you right now.
Yeah,
People don't like them.
We won't abide by that.
You would know. You would know, Brother Dan. You would know.
Thank you, podcast police.
Yeah. So is your
Children of the pod.
children
Pot
of the
meat kettle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Malachi. Hey, so is your partner's name Prince Adolin's lover?
Oh no, unfortunately not. His name is Eric. He very rarely touches Discord or this part of the fandom because I've said you be careful. Just be
hands off.
careful. Yeah. So he does not walk the dream yet. So
Okay. So do you have a Patreon yet?
we do not. We are in the talks of having one after we finish the Shadow Rising, or when we get into the Fires of Heaven, because we got some fun ideas. We do Loyal Spoils, where we just talk about another piece of media, fantasy or anything, and then what else are we doing? It's all up in the air right now. We're just kind of like still brand new to podcasting. We're only 10 episodes deep, so we're just kind of like just testing the waters, having fun with it. But there will eventually be a Patreon. But we do have a Instagram and a Twitter that I am so very bad at managing. Like, I forgot for 3 weeks we had a Twitter, and I was like, oh yeah. Oof.
Whoops. Yeah, we will, before the end of the day, we'll get those up into the video description.
Yes.
Well, and let me go ahead and throw a plug. I just listened yesterday to Rob from Malkier Talks. His latest podcast is fantastic. It is on representation in the Wheel of Time, and his panel. He had Prince Adolin husband here, lesbian nerdy, Miss Sarah James, and the person who sang Severed. Fuck, Micah.
Yeah.
God damn. Such a good discussion. Such a power panel. Rob is killing it. If you guys haven't been listening or watching what Malkier Talks has been doing in the last few shows, has been really some of the best content I've seen on this community ever. He is killing it. He's getting good stuff. So unsolicited plug for Rob because he's earning it. He's earning it.
It was such a fun episode, honestly.
Yeah. It sounded you guys were having a blast, but we're really hitting some really good. I mean, the idea of does someone who is trans more or less, do they channel side in or side R? And these sort of conversation. And Mike is like, nope, whatever you said, whatever your soul is what you channel.
Yeah, because Robert Jordan really left he left little nuggets that I think can really be expanded on in the show adaptation that I think maybe he couldn't do in the books. So he can do this in the show. And I think Wheel of Time is already, for its time, I felt like it read really almost progressive in the way that with a lot of the female characters, I think so often they fall into tropes, and I think Robert Jordan did a lot to try to combat that and try to have women on different spectrums of moralness and go, this is just how people are. We're not trying to create a commentary. This is just life, and these are people.
Correct.
And I think queerness is something that he just didn't get to, and especially with male queerness. And I'm like, listen, just have bisexual Matt, and we're good. Right. And there's no reason why he shouldn't, and just have it just be a subtle part of his personality. It doesn't have to be a spotlight on anything. Just that, he finds guys cute. I want season 2 to be just we divert from the story, like we go from Foam, and then we just cut to Matt sitting alone in his room going, do I like boys or do I like girls? And that's all he does for the rest of the season 2. Just do I like boys? Do I like girls? But all
he knows he could just roll the dice and get the answer, but he's afraid to.
Oh yeah, and so
it adds so many more layers to the
Yeah.
scene in the White Tower when he's with Matt and Gallant and Gowan. I mean, that could be the new volleyball montage from
Oh
Top
my
Gun.
god! Just
Oh God, I
Like-
want to see this now.
10 minutes of them just like in slow motion.
Yes.
And then Hammer like putting like spraying the oil and like it cuts to the greenhouse. It's just like, oh my god! And then they're just stretching, and it's just like, oh. And that's
Man, I can
all
hear
of-
Master of the Deck screaming in the background
yeah.
already for this.
That's
oh,
all
my goodness.
episode 1 of season 2, and then episode 2 is we get into the meat of the drama. Maybe even Logain joins in, and maybe he's like, "Hey, I heard you guys need some help." It's perfect. I think this is what Robert Jordan had in mind when he wrote Wheel of Time.
I think I can imagine when they look up to the balcony and see that all the sisters are up there watching all the well, I bet you there was some dudes up there too checking out Gawain and Galad. They're like, damn, look at these fine trackings.
There's so much. I mean, well, Robert Jordan's obviously a huge perv. The way he writes, like everything is being fingered. Everyone's jerking up. Everyone's jerking awake. Everyone's like standing erect. I mean, he does this shit on purpose. You know he does.
They were really truck-handing those dick prints. All right, guys, this has been fun.
Hey, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, Prince Absalom. Well, let's talk about this chapter here.
But real quick. I got way more.
No, go ahead.
I'm so smart. Let me get to my point. So, but I always did feel that the way he dealt with like the gay and lesbian experience was like like a remnant of the Don't Ask, Don't Tell. It was he made it very normal. Whenever it was mentioned, no one ever was openly like ew. No one ever was ew, but. He was just basically like out of sight, out of mind. We never see it. Never see it.
Well, and one of the points that Lesbian Nerdy made on the show was that when there's a male-female relationship, it's a relationship, but if it's a mostly female-female relationship, it's more fooling around. They're messing around. They're not. It doesn't have the seriousness within its writing or within the society of something that is. Equating to the love that is a man and a woman. It's more just she just does her thing.
Why couldn't Leanie go home to her lover?
Right.
Miss Weenie. Frenzy, I gotta ask real quick. Is that a dead body behind you?
No. Why do you ask?
Okay, it looks like we have a man down on the lawn behind you. Just gotta make sure.
She'll be fine. She'll be fine.
All right, yeah.
She'll be zooming in no time.
She's vibing.
She's living the good life, right? That's what dogs do, man.
I think
that's
healing.
See? Healing. That's Lottie.
Lottie.
All right, so
she's our rescue.
let's
jump into the chapter now.
Now I will allow you, brother.
Let us talk about Egwene. Egwene, this is like this is Robert Jordan getting a little. The tension in these first 2 pages are pretty great to me. This is a betrayal, but Leandrin's the last one to leave, so. Egwene just kind of comes out, and there's 50 dudes on horses, and a palanquin with some woman on it, and these other women with leashes and collars, and she's like, "What's going on here?" But she was under the false premise that they were there to help Moran, and so she has this hard kind of thing between, okay, are these good guys or bad?
Yeah.
But we know, and we find out right away that this is a betrayal. This to me left such a horrible taste in my mouth. This obvious betrayal. The story suddenly just gets way more ugly. The Black Aja is real. Not only just this thing that people talk about. Guess what? She just took them across the ways and just sold them to slavery.
And she knew, and then she watched them go through like torture and just wouldn't even look back at them.
Yeah.
Wouldn't even give them the time of day. Just so like inhumane.
Yeah.
This is where we learn about the Idam and the Soldam and Damane relationship. So let's talk about this capture. Let's talk about this betrayal. Let's talk about the Black Aja if you want, and talk about the Adam and all. Let's just talk about this shit. What? Go ahead, Prince. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
Oh no, you're totally fine. It's gut wrenching the first time. It's even worse the second time because you see in the chapters before how much Leandrin is so just like, I'm only looking at the map for the ways. I know exactly where we're going. It's so suspicious, and you're kind of like, you know, and when you know what's coming, and you see Egwene slowly processing what's happening, it's awful. And you're right; it left a really horrible taste in my mouth, and especially when Egwene has the realization that Brenna is talking to her like a well-trained animal, and it's just it's horrifying, you know.
It's
It
it,
is gross.
Leandrin used everything that the White Tower indoctrinates its members for. She used her position of authority to coerce the girls to go with her. And everything, their spidey sense was going off. They're like, this is wrong, but this is an Aes Sedai. An Aes Sedai wouldn't lead us wrong. They can't. They won't.
Yeah.
They're, and it's like, I have to trust you, but I don't trust you. And it's just that teetering on the edge, and they don't realize that they should have trusted themselves until it's too late.
Because Nynaeve shows distrust very early on. She said, wow, for her to mention the Black Aja, it disallows us the opportunity to go seek help. Because
Right.
and so she called that out early on. Like, she's like, that could either be real or a tactic she's using against us, which, right, like, there you go. Her instincts was like, this something smells,
But the Aes Sedai structure allows for this sort of behavior between Aes Sedai and accepted novices without them being black. You can be as bitchy as you want. You can pull a novice by her ear. We see that as they're leaving.
Oh, yeah.
This sort of thing, you don't necessarily have to be a evil incarnate in order to be dismissive and rude to someone who's not a sister. To me, the White Tower kind of enabled this sort of thing. But I also think that Leandrin would have faked it and said if she had to be nicer to get him out, she probably would have been. I think she could probably do that as well.
So I'm going to this point. I'm going to be appearing on an upcoming episode of the Dusty Wheel, and we're going to be talking about trauma in the Wheel of Time. And I kind of think that this is the very first POV where we see the person get traumatized, and then we start to see the real immediate effects of it afterwards. Would you?
Oh, yeah.
I feel like the first book, people go through crazy shit, but they just kind of bounce back.
They had each other in that first book. They clung to each other,
Nice.
even though their world got turned upside down. In this book, they've been split up deliberately. They've been put in situations where they don't know what the social norms are. They don't know who, and been told there's people out here trying to kill you, and it may be the person who's trying to help you. There's just that they've lost any sense of trust, any sense of community with each other. Yet they still try to build it. They bring in Min, they bring in Elaine, they bring in other people that they meet and bond with, and still try to find their own way. And yet it's still thrown up in their face. And I've actually gotten in arguments online. Who doesn't get in arguments online of who had the more traumatic experience through the whole arc of the Wheel of Time, Rand or Egwene. And I argued that Egwene had the more traumatic experience. They both were just chewed up and beat up and betrayed, left, right, center, and then backwards, forward, sideways, and then again and again and again. And the fact that they got to where they were speaks to their resilience and their strength as a character. And they were that way before the traumas that they endured. The traumas, I guess that makes for good story reading, and it makes, the whole, a lot of what happens to Egwene as a Damani happens on screen, but a lot of it happens off screen because she was collared for weeks.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like knowing how long she suffered it's really rough to read because it's so early in the series,
Right.
You keep and with Egwene and them, we kind of like I do remember when I first read it, I thought, oh, they're safe. They're going to be fine because they are Aes Sedai. They can do this magic. They're going to be fine. And it was this. I was also tricked by Leandrin, and I think it hurts even more because I think Egwene went into the White Tower thinking like maybe she has a way to help Rand, and I think Leandrin played with that. Her and Nynaeve knowing you grew up in the same village, you will do anything to protect him. Perfect. And you know, and it just happened that Elaine and Min just kind of were like, we come too, and it just is awful for Egwene, and it stays with her long after this.
Oh
like,
yeah.
You see it even in the Dragon Reborn. She goes, I will never be captured again. Like, even when this is getting ahead of the Great Hunt, but when they wake up in the chamber of the Stone of Tyr, the first thing Egwene says is, I will not be captured again. Like, and the fact that Leandrin is part of the 3 women that beat Egwene, like, that specifically trigger her in that trauma being captured by the Seanchan it's monstrous, and that's what makes Leandrin, like, you know, from the jump, such a great villain because I feel like her actions is kind of like you kind of get where it's evil, she's serving the Dark One, but you're kind of like, you're a person too, and you can easily be cut down, but the fact that you're so easily a threat is what's so scary, you know? I mean, it's hilarious when her and Suroth get into that argument where, like, they're kind of going like, oh, but you could get captured, and Suroth's like, yeah, well, you could get chained, and they're going back and forth, and I'm kind of like, ladies, we have an important matter at hand here.
Our master likes me more than you. No, our master
very much like, well, it's very schoolyard, but it's also horrifying. You know?
Well, let me ask you about. There is a suggestion in here that there are specific instructions that Leandrin has that it suggested that Egwene and Nynaeve are to go across the Aerith Ocean.
Yeah.
Our master will be displeased if this doesn't happen. These 2 have to do it. You know the plan. What is this plan? And I'll ask you, Frenzy. No, go ahead, Prince.
Go, Prince.
When I read that, because we. In the podcast, we're on the chapters of the Shadow Rising where they interrogate Amiko and Joya, and it's either Amiko or Joya who says the plan was to release from time under the name of Randall Thor, blah blah blah. But I kind of made the connection of Leandrin wanted Egwene and Nynaeve out of the way because she knew those were the immediate connections to Randall Thor, the people who would go to him first. So she neutralized that threat. And she would be able to get to Rand a lot more easily because he's by himself, you know? Like, she could easily do this, you know? And there's really no one there to vouch for him as Egwene and Nynaeve because it's like, Moraine is just like, hey, here's this kid we found. And it's like, what are Perrin and Matt going to do? She kind of wanted to cut it off at the source. So, and I think she also recognized their power. Egwene and Nynaeve's strength in the one power. And she said, let me get that out of the way so I have an easier target, you know?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but let me see. I'm looking right now for the exact thing. It says something it says, however much you were told, child, this is how much you are allowed to know. Remember that you serve and obey. These 2 must be removed to the other side of the Aerith Ocean and kept there. Regarding the master, but I guess you're right. She doesn't specifically say our master says it. It's just within that master talk that she brings it up. Okay. I had read it as the master had said, bring those 2 girls across the Aerith Ocean. Fire eyes.
I mean, that might have been.
Who do we think gave her the map?
To the ways?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
The Seanchan don't know that. That's not inherent to their knowledge set.
No.
Yeah.
No, the ways weren't over in Seanchan. It probably came from Ishmael, would be my guess, because he was the one that was pulling all the strings and trying to set things up, ultimately to control Rand. So he's the one that set the White Cloaks loose on the Almoth Plain. He's the one that guided the Black Sisters to do what they were doing. Now, ultimately, pieces of the plan were picked up by other patrons, such as other Forsaken that may have been hanging around after the Great Hunt. Whether that be Masana or Semirag or even Grendel. Wouldn't put him past all of them. And then also Lanfear was still active at this time. But I think ultimately they were both operating under orders from Ishamael Balsamon. Because he wanted to control Rand and undermine Rand and make it so Rand had to bow to him. So either by undermining him by setting loose Mazrim Taim and to commit atrocities in his name, so nobody would trust him, or to try to corner him, and so he had no other way out but to go to the shadow.
Yeah.
Nynaeve kills 3 people in this chapter.
Mm-hmm.
Good for her.
Not one fuck was given.
Is this her first kills on screen that we've seen, Ryan?
On screen, yeah, but we know as wisdom she might have pulled some.
And yeah, she may have. Yeah, she's like, this Copland baby shouldn't make it.
Oh,
what?
What? I'm
She
sorry.
needed that baby.
That's
Sorry.
Congar talk.
That's a bunch of Congar talk.
But this
needed
is-
that baby into the Netherindel.
Yeah.
Did that three times.
The wine spring. The wine spring is littered with corpses.
Oh my god. Baby corpses in the wine
Yeah.
spring.
Are you
Oh
claiming
no.
that Nynaeve has been calling the Coplands and Congers in?
Yeah.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
she isn't doing a good job of it.
They keep making them. So this is the first. These are her first kills.
Yeah.
We were just speaking of trauma, and Rand carries trauma throughout the series of the women that he has killed.
Yeah.
Perrin carries somewhat of the trauma of the White Cloaks. He thinks of it, and he regrets the savage nature of what he. Nynaeve doesn't give another fucking thought to these people.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think
Nice
Nynaeve
one.
realizes that she does what she has to do. Like, she really embodies that duty is, I'm going to get the quote wrong, so I'm just going to leave it there. I did not go into that quote with full confidence, so I think
Death is
that-
lighter than a feather. Duty is heavier than a mountain.
There
Yeah.
you go.
And I
Duty.
Duty.
Oh my God. It is a heavy duty.
I do think though, if you stacked duty like up a mountain size, it would be heavier than that.
Yeah.
Mountain. I mean,
Yeah.
per
Well-
like cubics, metric cube, whatever.
Yeah, I don't think this is the first time Nynaeve has experienced death. I mean, she was the wisdom, so she probably and we know that she gets personally offended if she cannot heal somebody.
Yeah.
But she also has a very low tolerance for bullshit. And the Sanchen soldiers were several degrees above bullshit, so they had to go. And they knew what they were getting into. They got what they asked for.
And
Still, I remember my first kill, and it's still, every time I stare at that ceiling before I go to bed.
And play the guitar.
Yeah.
And admire
I
your
play the
big
guitar.
toes.
feel like-
I sing the blues.
is that
Nynaeve
what?
would have slaughtered the whole Shan-Chan army if that meant getting Egwene back. Because Nynaeve literally went out in Trolloc-infested lands just to get to Baerlon and just to chastise. She is there 5 minutes, insults Moraine, Lan, and then goes, all right, anyway, Matt, we thought you'd be dead at this point because you can't keep your nose out of trouble. Like that, and then goes, everyone okay? Like, Nynaeve would have literally done anything to get Egwene back because she chooses violence, and we love her for that. But I think she doesn't like feeling helpless, and I think that's her one thing that she does not like being able to protect, because that's been the one thing she can do very well, protect the people of Emmons Field. And I think she has a huge chip on her shoulder with that, and so when she killed those 3 men, I went, cheers.
To
Land
be
Right.
be proud.
Now, I wish we knew.
I'll drink to that.
I wish we knew
Yeah.
why Nynaeve had that block. Why is Nynaeve so fucking angry?
I think it's a lot of insecurity in the fact that the girl that she raised to be her apprentice is suddenly better at her than this. And I think, like, Nynaeve's always been able to kind of not lord it over Egwene, but go, hey, I'm the wisdom, you're the apprentice. And now that the roles are switched, she doesn't know how to process this, you know?
Yeah.
Yes,
and that
Not-
stupid ego shit. Like, and I felt like that was like not really of a big. I mean, do you think that by book 6 is that like that those dynamics relevant? You know what I mean? Like,
well, here's to piggyback on that, Ryan. The way I see it is Robert Jordan did a pretty interesting thing with Nynaeve. Nynaeve is people. I mean, get over that. She's not a likable character in the first couple books, and most of it is because of her anger. And yet, she needs this part of her in order for her to be a magical person. And so she has to get over her worst aspect. But in order to be that magical person until she gets over it, she is the Hulk.
Yeah.
She is the Hulk. Let's just equate it to the Hulk.
Yeah.
right?
I
Great one.
That's her. That's her secret. She's always angry.
She's touch grade.
Yeah.
I think she is
That's a
very
great, nice frenzy.
And those ripped pants that become shorts are stout to Rivers
yeah.
Don't
wool.
realize woolen.
oh
That
Oh
shirt
my.
wasn't. That shirt was just linen, so it rips right off. But those
Oh,
pants, those are stout.
stout to Rivers wool. You can't go wrong with it. Yeah, her anger. She's very prickly. Like even on my first
As is
reread.
the pants are prickly too. So,
Yeah, so there's good reason, you know. She's a very prickly person, but you see at times her heart, and her heart is very much in the right place. She just does not express it very well, you know. Like I think it's like Frenzy said, it's that low tolerance for bullshit, and I think she's unable to really step back, also unable to step back out of that role of wisdom. You know, you see it in Dragon Reborn. She kind of undermines Egwene a lot in their journey, but it's not out of this genuine malice, mean person. It's just this thing of like, I know better.
Do you think all
And there's
wisdom?
also she had to fight for it too. She had to fight to be wisdom, right? Ryan and Brother Dan
with
and
the
Prince.
stick? I was about apparently
Yeah.
with the
Yeah.
switch.
Got with a
Two
switch, with
wisdom
a
enter,
stick,
one
with,
enters, one
you
leaves.
know, with some sheep's tongue root, whatever happens to be handy, you know.
Yeah.
That sock could be a weapon.
But when we first meet her,
son.
she's like walking around with like a battle switch, and she'll hit a kid, she'll hit a 90-year-old
She'll hit
man.
old men, yeah. She
Yeah.
barges into the village council meeting. She's like, they're probably asking all the wrong questions. Fuck them. But barges in, and she has a lifetime position, and she is a young person, and she will probably outlive Rand if she just has a magically enhanced life. So we were joking that Evans Field probably has a good 100 years of a wisdom just beating the fuck out of old people and babies.
Yep.
yeah.
Like a
Angry.
tyrant.
This is regressive. Tyrancy, yes. She
Nynaeve
would
did-
not have evolved. She would not have evolved. She would have been Zen Bowie times a million.
Post
So she
in
probably
memory
had-
of light, Nynaeve is her picking up the fetuses with her stout stick and going, boom,
Yeah.
right into the wine spring.
Yep. Yeah.
This is the only way.
Man,
I need to stay mad to heal the people I can help. So me golfing babies
Oh,
into the 4.
there's no need to golf
Four.
babies. I mean, you've got plenty of just these crazy crotchety old men being
Yeah.
on their
Couple of
bullshit that'll keep her mad for decades, you know?
And in
Right.
her defense, she also is talked down to a lot by
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot of the men, except by Tamal Thor, who legit is the only. She respects no man except Tamal Thor because he actually talks to her like a
Well,
person.
Tam
Everyone
doesn't
else
have to deal with her every day. Tam
Yeah.
lives out on the farm.
Well, that's
Yeah.
that's also the benefit of that is like he kind of gets to be out of the village circle drama and conflama, so he can approach it in a very neutral stance. When they're like, Nynaeve can't predict the weather, and it's like, great, and it's like, is there anything else, Sembui? Like,
He rides in with the brandy and he gets stopped by 2 people saying, hey, we got to do something about Nynaeve. And he's like, well, hi, Sen. Hi, Wit. Yeah, I'm just off to Brands. I got to drop off the brandy.
Maybe the brandy is how he deals with it all.
She was an issue at that place. She was not a good wisdom. Maybe she healed people. Fine. but she also hit people.
Yeah, it was very much like she was at a very like okay minimum wage job, and once she got a husband and a better paying job, and she went, all right, I'm happy now. Like she just needed to get out of there.
She needed that dick.
Oh my God. I mean,
no, man, you know what? No, let's rephrase it. She needed someone to see the woman that she is, to accept her, not judge her as a person, like as a kid or as a whatever. Land treated her the way that really resounded and allowed her to grow. I mean, and he probably gave her that dick pretty well too.
What do you think Nynaeve would have done if Land died somewhere in the books? Was she capable of bouncing back from that? Like Perrin bounces back from his family loss.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, you think she is?
I think she would have been really hurt.
Oh yeah. Yeah, she's got an inner core of resilience. She probably would have been angrier. Which is kind of hard to fathom, but no, I think she's, she doesn't define herself by the people around her. She defines herself as how she can help the people around her and the people that she cares about. And if she loses anybody, she takes it as an insult, not as a attack to her being. It's just an insult.
But she also is a very suspicious person.
Oh, well, she's got good reason.
She's deeply suspicious.
Oh, yeah.
Well, in the very beginning, she was suspicious of Moraine, but she was horribly wrong, like, the entire time. Developed, like, an incredible, weird, like, backstory of, like, I'm going to go to the tower just to best her, which was
kind of... And then she realized that was... it was forced, and she realized that's not the reason I should be here. And she found a better reason. I don't think I don't know if she ever... reconciled that with Moraine fully, not fully, but it made her look back and realize I was being childish.
Yeah.
So I think it's in the Shadow Rising we really start to see Egwene's mom and her like skill, right?
Right.
Yeah. And I was thinking back to like trauma and what Rand and Egwene have both gone through. It seems like people are highlighting it in the chat. Like they both go through horrific things.
Oh yeah.
But we both know very well like their upbringing. So we have Tam, who's just the father of all fathers, obviously, and then Bran Alvier and Mistress Alvier. Mistress Alvier steps up big time. She's like running like a whole secret, like she's like Sopranos style, like.
Oh yeah,
right. Like she's got like, right. Like she's running the whole thing, and she's like, yeah, you stay here and be the face of the operation. She's like running the entire like.
Oh geez, that is now my headcanon. That Bran Alvier is Tony Soprano, and Mira Alvier is Carmela.
Yes.
And I'll Bran, the scales look good around your neck. Thanks, Con.
But we can make assumptions about why like Egwene was not breakable and why Rand was not breakable, right? Yeah. And why are other characters breakable? We just don't know. It's kind of like we'll never know. Like we could fill in the blanks. I fill in the blanks if there's a character who's all shitty and horrible. I just assume they had shitty and horrible parents.
I feel like a lot of it is that too reverse stubbornness, like that will always be there. Like, again, it's what Rand says in the Those Who Fight speech. Like, it was about a woman who would not bend her back when she was beaten and who shined with the light of the world. Egwene literally is beaten almost every opportunity. Like, she kind of comes back and goes, no, how can I get better? How can I make sure this does not happen again? When she's captured towards the end of the series in, I believe at the end of Knife of Dreams, when she does the mini coup inside the Light Tower. The only reason I feel like she could have had the inner strength to do this was because of what happened with the Seanchan. It's really awful that it happened to her, but
it's interesting to compare them. So what happened in the Great Hunt was completely out of her control. She had zero control over what was going on. She was treated as a dog, somebody to be trained. She was treated as a monster. She was, force-fed the propaganda from the Seanchan, and she never believed a bit of it. And she fought how she could fight through the entire time. And she realized that she was struggling. She realized that she was failing. She talked about the Aes Sedai who were captured, who were succumbing. This is like, the worst form of this isn't even Stockholm syndrome. This is, brainwashing. This is there are four light. How many fingers am I holding up? 1984 level, what's going on here? But she's able to get out of it. And then what happens when she's with the wise ones, there were bad things that happened to her there as well, but that was by her choice.
Yeah.
She chose to be there. She was
Yep.
She was an active participant. Every time she was beaten, every time she was given a meaningless chore, every time she went back because she made the choice that was worth what she was trying to get. And then when she was tried to be manipulated, when Saladar, she was able to manipulate everybody else around her based on what she learned. And then when what you mentioned, Prince, when she was captured by the White Tower, she could have left, but she chose to stay, and she chose to endure everything that she went through there. And she had what they were doing to her there was nothing compared to what she had already endured at the hands of the wise ones, at the hands of the Sanchan. She was able to laugh while she was being beaten.
Because she even remarked that.
Yeah.
She's like, the Aiel say it, like, just don't show pain. When it's not Alviarin, who's the Mistress of Novices.
Sylviana.
When that's happening, Egwene's just like, work, I've been through worse. Like, literally showing that strength and like, even in that defiance, that's not like, when the other sisters are like, you're a novice, she says like, as you wish, and she like, you may call me mother. A mother doesn't bow. And it's just so, that resilience versus Rand, where he is just faced with both. He's not in control because the wheel weaves as the wheel wills, but also it's a lot of this, I have to do this by myself. I can't let anyone get hurt. That ultimately hurts himself and the world.
Those around him.
Yeah. Like after Sulin breaks her spears and she goes, you can't do this. You can't be this self-sacrificing hero. Rand literally goes, got you. Anyway, this is my fault. It's like, no, and we can't blame him for that because the Two Rivers is not a battle society. It's the tragedy of it all, and it's Rand's journey for him to realize it's not about me. It was never about me, and so these journeys kind of parallel each other, Egwene and Rand, and that's what makes them like two of my favorite characters, is because their strength and their resilience and their growth, and just the ultimate tragedy of these two young people thrown into something that they probably should never have faced so young, and in only 2 years is just tragic,
Right. And it is there's all sorts of different traumas. We have the traumas of what someone is being emotionally inflicted with or psychologically inflicted with. Rand has physical trauma in a wound that won't heal. Every time he channels, he becomes sick to the point where his head starts bonging, bong, 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 bong. These guys. It's a coin flip to me who has the shittier time. They both do. I think Egwene is probably, I give her more points for being it because it is voluntary on her part. We don't know whether she's TAVERN. I mean, there's some argument perhaps that maybe she has been at some point, but
well, I argue that none of this is voluntary for any of the participants of this series, but we won't get into that.
Yeah.
I had this thought of like where Gawain got killed, and Egwene was in the Io Waste, and a tear was going to go, but with a little wisp in the air, it went right back in because Nia doesn't want to waste water, and she just goes on with her deal.
She channeled that tear back up.
And willpower, willpower, and just a tiny wisp of air.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I've always said the two trios, I feel like, and I might be wrong, sort of mirror each other. Perrin and Elaine both deal with leadership and taking control. Elaine in a very diplomatic way, Perrin in a very, I'm just a dude from the Two Rivers, I can't do this. And Nynaeve and Matt are both almost the same, very stubborn, very reactionary people, and I feel like they deal with their own abilities in finding out their own abilities in very different ways, but almost ways that seem similar. And Rand and Egwene have their own arc, you know?
Right.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Do you think
go ahead.
Do you think that Egwene's experiences in the Aiel Ways training with the wise women shows or highlights a failing in Tarvalon and how they're training the Aes Sedai? We're talking about building resiliencies, correct? We're talking about like who is creating the most effective person who can handle trauma without disassembling.
Yeah. It has each methodology has its strengths and its weaknesses. I think what this is all spoilers. I think what the wise ones have that the Tarvalon folks didn't have is they didn't have any dark friends amongst their upper echelons, whereas the tower was crawling with them. So there wasn't an element of lack of trust in amongst the wise ones.
Why do you think there are no dark ones and wise ones?
Dark friends amongst the wise ones, because by the end of the series, we didn't see any.
You're right. And I agree with you. I'm just wondering, do you think there's something to that? Was it coincidental, or is there something about how they raise, how they are raised?
There was even a dark tinker, wasn't there?
There was a dark tinker, and there were dark friends amongst the Aiel, but you didn't see them as often. And I think it might be a function of, the society. What drives the dark friends to do what they want? They want power, they want control, they want to live forever. The Aiel embrace death; they don't want to live forever. And the ones that do want power, Savannah definitely wants power. I'm actually surprised she's not a dark friend, but it doesn't mean that the Aiel are insulated against it. But you see what happens when the Aiel start to think in that kind of Westlander way with the Shido. I call it, it's the Catholic high school student girl at college for the first time. It's just, I can do whatever I want. I'm going to get all the rings. I'm going to get all the bling. I'm going to get all the booze, all the girls. I'm going to set up shop in Malden, and I'm just going to fuck things up. That's kind of what happens when the Aiel let loose. When they don't. Yeah, definitely. You don't really have that. You didn't really have that. It was so frowned upon. I'm actually surprised it doesn't happen as often in the Aiel, or maybe when it did happen, it was just immediately killed off.
Yeah.
And whereas there's a lot more flexibility in the Westlands, and then maybe the routes to power and control in the Westlands were less easily defined. So if you wanted to get ahead in the world, the easy way, you would become a dark friend and start leapfrogging. Yeah. There was Melindra. Melindra was definitely a dark friend, and there were other.
Mal is bad in Spanish.
Well, it was MEL.
Toe plays a lot in Aiel Society.
Obligation.
G, is it G?
Yeah, G. Toe.
I feel like that's so deep. G got toe. I feel like that plays so much in Aiel Society, is so prevalent that I feel like a dark friend, wise one, would just, I don't know. I also feel like they could have a dream, and then all of a sudden, just Amis appears in the back, going, "Hey, what you doing?"
Oh, here's
well, they do live in each other's heads, and you mentioned Toe, and now all I can think of is Brother Dan, and it's I
know
his
swollen toe.
It's just giant.
Well, how much wisdom?
It's funny. I get gout sometimes, so I'm now gonna call that. I'm now gonna call that my G toe.
That's amazing. Now, I was going to say, though, Dan, if you're going to do a toe-sized shot, you can't. That can't be like Chekhov's toe. Once you bring it into the show, you have to do the shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm just saying. You said you're going to do a toe size, then you showed how big it was. All right, so Glenn, the geeky hippie, has a great point. He says the Terrangra and Ruidium wouldn't let a dark friend to survive.
Ooh.
I don't know what
Yeah.
you're basing that on,
Well,
but
it shows.
sounds good,
Sounds good.
right?
But I mean, it doesn't mean well. And I guess do wise ones just leave the waste to go to Shia Ghul for a little bit? I mean, wouldn't they be missed more than
And I feel
Like
like it's
a
a thing of like
Aiel?
an Aiel over the spine of the dragon would cause some commotion, you know, especially when we're coming past the Aiel War and all that caused in Kyrie. And it's like the Aiel would have to go through Kyrian or somewhere to go up to Shao Ghul unless they want to go straight up through the Blight, you know. But they would
Which
then
they
go
do.
through. Yeah. So it's either like they're very sneaky if there were dark friends, or like they have dark friends helping them change into different clothes. It's an interesting thing, but I don't think it would. I don't think it could happen. You know.
So
Let me ask you guys, just in general, how do you think the Dark Friends made it to Shia Ghul for the mixer? So they all show up at a given time.
Yeah.
They're from all over the place. Did they get an invitation? It's like, hey, be there at 7 p.m. sharp.
Uber XL.
LOL. Or were they like waygated over, or not waygated, but traveled
They were
over? You
traveled.
think?
Yeah.
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 Actually, yeah.
Yeah, definitely traveling. Somebody went, popped, and grabbed
well,
them.
then
So
why
that way
was
they
then
can
why was
come back.
Ingtar gone for several days? Why wouldn't it just be boop boop?
They traveled him back to the wrong spot. They weren't really paying attention when they picked him up. They're like, it's somewhere up there.
It's a one-way Uber. Yeah.
Do you think he maybe knew that the Armerlin was coming, and so he tried to maybe time it out, like kind of just like, oh, drop me off over here, and then I can be like, oh, you know, I was hunting, you know.
I was out on patrol. I was out on patrol.
Like
Killing Trollocs, taking names.
All right, so
I thought that traveling black or white within the tower, that traveling was not thought to have been recreated or
not amongst the Aes Sedai. No, it wasn't.
The Forsaken came.
But there was one or two Aes Sedai at this meeting, correct?
Yes.
So they would know
traveling?
about the traveling.
Yeah.
Or perhaps they were dragged in and traveled through the world of dreams.
Yeah.
Because you can travel bodily through the world of dreams.
Just put that Abu Ghraib hood on their head and just like.
Oh, so Slayer's like the Uber. Slayer's the Uber.
Yeah.
He like picks him up. He's like,
Uber
"Ah,
Slayer.
they're like, where are we going? I just follow the blue line. Sorry, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. Legit.
All right. So
somewhere they look out the window and Perrin's in there somewhere. They're just like, who's that? Don't worry about it.
There's a water in the door, and I think there's some gum back there.
It's like the boat trip from Willy Wonka.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
yes,
or like
Wonka. Yeah, or you know, the magic, the haunted castle in Disneyland.
There you go.
Yeah. Oh my god. Spooky, scary, dark friends and shimmering. It's fine. Well, I almost was wondering. I'm like, Masana was not out yet by Grey Hunt, right? Like only.
She's in the closet.
Only Agenor, Balthamel, Ishamael,
and Lanfear.
In Lanfear were out, but okay, no. So she was. I was almost was like maybe Masana did it, but I feel like if Masana was out, they would have made a better point of saying like, yeah, there's a Forsaken, maybe.
Yeah, I don't think we hear from her yet.
No. Yeah, I think it had to be either a shard of Ishamael or Tel'aran'rhiod, I feel like. Because I feel like, I don't know. I would need to reread it because I don't know if Bors describes it as looking almost faded or anything.
There's definitely a time period because we know that Moraine was gone and returns around the same time as Ingtar returns, and this kind of sleight of hand Robert Jordan bullshit where you go, all right, well, were they both there? But having been gone for an amount of time, where Rand's like, "Fuck, where's Moraine, man? She's been gone, right?" Like for it to be a noticeable.
And
amount of
Land's
time.
all, it's none of your business. She just does this sometimes. And
Yeah,
we're
shut
like,
up, cheaper.
Okay.
Not at all, sus. Not at all.
Yeah.
That's not something to worry about, huh? Like,
Yeah.
That's such a wonderful red herring, though, wasn't it?
oh yeah.
It was a good one. Yeah.
It was, but it does spell out that it felt like they needed to travel to it. Was what I got garnered.
Yeah. It might have been.
And then Ingtar had to do some really quick hunting to make sure he had something to bring back to make it look plausible.
He just has a rabbit. He brings back a rabbit. They're like, wait, you were gone 6 days. Well,
Pickings were
this
scarce.
rabbit, it's
There
a
you go.
gorilla. Sharp, pointy teeth.
Yeah, it's a dark rabbit.
Oh my god.
oh, it's on me. It's on me.
Oh, it's like in the Monty Python. It's the Monty Python rabbit.
Monty Python rabbit.
It's the thing of, because I feel like, doesn't Boars wake up? No, he doesn't wake up.
No, he has to change into his clothes, change back to his white cloak, and then
Yeah.
I think he was summoned, and then he showed up, and then he was given his disguise, and went to the social, and
I think he was just like, there's the door. Bye.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
bye. Yeah, but he did have a room, so maybe some of the people were there for a couple weeks. Maybe they were just hanging out in the Shao playing backgammon.
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh, you're pretty good."
Getting snacks from the bar.
Yeah. I just needed this weekend away from the kids. It's been a rough couple days,
Yeah.
Bal's
Hard
on.
being.
Can I have some ginger? Can I get a little bit more ginger ale? There is no ginger ale. Fire eyes.
The amount of times he was asking, "Can we have some ginger ale and pretzels?" And he's like, "Fine." And it's the little tiny bag of pretzels you get on the plane. And it's just like,
Oh my
"That's
God.
it.
Jesus.
Don't question me."
Yeah,
Fire eyes.
he's like skimming along with his family. Do I need to go back here? Do I need to stop? I'll let you off in the middle of the skim.
Don't make me skim around.
You're only getting a single. Okay, who rolled down the window? We have the AC on. No, we cannot turn on the radio.
Grendel, turn off that light back there. It's illegal.
Oh my god.
I don't care if she farted. He's lactose intolerant.
Oh my god. Agenor and Balthamo have a bop it in the very back seat, and it's just like, I'm trying to concentrate. Bop it. Twist it. And Asmodean's like, hey, they took that from me. Okay, everyone.
And Balthamo,
Sing the screams.
Balthamo's the
Sweet
one
dreams.
that's like all like chewed up still, right? He was the
Yeah.
corpse like one. So he just keeps hitting bop it. And it's like, and twist it. Bop.
And shake it, Pop.
He does. He
And
just
flick it, Pop.
bop.
Balthamel's arm fell off again.
Yeah.
Stop hitting
So I
yourself.
picked
Stop
it
hitting
up on the
yourself.
other one and just starts popping it. All right, so back to Egwene.
Yes.
We left
Yeah.
the
No,
caller to
Yes.
chat.
Yeah.
Don't make me throw this podcast around.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Egwene is badass. Egwene is badass. As soon as she gets that collar on her, she does the old, hey, how about the knuckle sandwich?
She does
Yeah.
the Miss Piggy.
The Miss Piggy.
Oh, yeah.
She winds
Right
up
hook.
and gets a double. Oh, man. Just
Yeah.
And again, we had that Corsican. You ever see the Corsican brothers?
And,
Frenzy, you ever see it when they start?
Uh-huh.
They start. Cheech
Well, I mean,
starts hitting Cheech, and Chong's like, "Ow!"
Well, she
Oh,
very
I've
much
never
says
seen
it
that.
felt like a man hitting her, and I kind of wish she didn't know what that felt like.
Oh
Yeah, no, you're not
I kind of
wrong.
wish that wasn't a reference in her mind.
Yeah. Why is that the first place you go to? Like,
Because trains weren't invented yet.
Dude,
he hit me and it felt like a
It
kiss.
felt like a badger falling off a tree, more like it, but no, just
Yeah.
a man.
That
All right,
one
go on.
time, yeah.
But yeah, that I think the discovery of what the Adam can do just kind of raises the stakes of how almost impossible of like how is she getting out of this?
Mhm.
She can't channel, like Rena tells her, you can't channel unless I say you can.
Mhm.
If she tries to defend herself, she's gonna get it 2 times worse. And so we're just left with this, well, I guess she's stuck, and like Min tries to help and Rena's like, "Oh, try. We'll just make this worse for your friend." And she lets the beating go on just a little bit longer, just to drive that point home. So
Right.
it's like what we thought was this, like we find through the books, like our preconceptions are broken down. Like we think the Aes Sedai are almost invincible, and we think Moraine and Lan to be these mysterious figures. And as the books progress, we see the more human side of them. And I think this is the first time we get that with the Aes Sedai, with Leandrin's betrayal and the Seanchan. There's now a way to stop what's been the beacon of humanity for the past couple thousand years. It's very like, this isn't good, you know?
Yeah, and it's not just what's happening to Egwene. You see from Nynae's point of view, when she's walking through the town of Falma, that the people have just kind of accepted it. Yeah, you got to bow, but they don't fight back, and it's not like they're waiting for their moment to fight back. They've literally given up. They're like, all right, we're Seanchan now, I guess. So we've got these huge abominations of creatures that we've never seen before. They have leashed monsters. They have leashed Aes Sedai. These guys are so freaking powerful, and they're telling us that we're the bad people because we didn't hold to our oaths. And you've got this kind of reverse colonialism going, and just with really strong overtones of slavery and really odd power structures going on. And
well, they're coming in harsh to these villages. Huron pukes when he even smells that burnt ass thing. They're destroying entire burnt ass. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Probably a lot of.
It's probably smelled like burnt ass. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, and it's human generated evil. It's not shadow generated evil, and that's what makes it scarier. That's what makes it more real and more visceral. Is like, these are just people. These are people with an enormous amount of power that are here to impose their will, not because they are driven by the Dark One, or not because they're you can go about world domination without swearing your soul to the Shadow.
Yeah,
and it's probably worse.
Yeah, let me ask you guys. Go ahead.
The fact that the Adolin was created by an Aes Sedai herself is what kind of is that nail in that coffin, when it's like, an Aes Sedai went to Luther Pendrag and was just like, hey, here's this. And then it's like, it's all
failsafe.
And then it's futile, because then Renna's like, it was said her screams in the Tower of shook the Towers of Midnight. So it's like it was so futile. And for what? It's almost... It's so sad.
I didn't think they'd eat my face, says the person who voted for the Leopards Eat My Face party.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't mean
not
me.
My face, not me.
Oh my God.
Awesome.
It's the fact that they believe it, like, wholeheartedly, in the heart of their hearts. They believe they are doing what they believe to be right.
Okay, so let me. I'm. God damn it! I'm bad at this, but I'm gonna forget. So, how do you think the show is going to address this? So we have Tuon. Tuon is going to marry our favorite boy, Matt, right?
Yeah.
But Tuon is the empress of a slaving society that believes that they are doing right. Now, in the book series, I think she gets away with it, because she has like a 4 or 5 book long adventure where she is away from the Seanchan. Matt, she is learning. She goes to the circus. She fucking, she is starting to, so we find that we find her charisma through these books, and don't just see her as the evil empress. However, I'm not sure the show is going to be able to demonstrate that with the nuance that Robert Jordan was. And I don't think
any empathy along the way. She was still like, the Seanchan are the epitome of everything. We are the best. Our way is the best. And you guys are just, you've lost your way. We need to impose, our order on you to keep you from killing yourselves.
Yeah.
Right. But is Tuon considered one of your worst, like top 3 worst characters that you hate the most?
It's very complicated, because at the same time, she is a child. She is a product of her society and her upbringing. So it's like, what would Tuon be like if she was Andoran? It's this unfortunate thing of like she marries Matt, and we love Matt, and I think in the show it's gonna really have to be either we do have to do not an exposition dump, but Rena, if when Egwene gets captured, there has to be a sort of Sean when we left the Westlands so long ago, and like we have to kind of get a villain's monologue explaining why. There's a lot of nuance that has to be carried over from internal monologue and like the stage directions to speech, just because otherwise I don't know if the first time viewers who haven't read the books will understand the Seanchan, because it is not just they're evil because they're against the people that we love, but they're so well developed that you kind of go, I understand, and you get to know that society through Lady Suroth, and she explains it, and so it is a thing of I'm curious to see how they do it.
There's a line in the book here when Rena is talking with Egwene that is problematic. She says, quote, "Better for them to become Damane than to make trouble contending for power," end quote. And so what it seems is that they are leashing these powerful women because they are a threat to the very Empress Tuon herself, or may she live forever, or whatever. So yeah, I'm interested to see how this is a delicate line to walk, because this is a not only a slaver, she's the queen slaver, and this is our boy Matt. Matt has the charisma in the book to bring her into his fold and allow her to kind of change a little bit. She does change a little bit.
Yeah.
Frenzy. I mean, and no, I think she does. She's not like none of this stuff an Empress would do. An Empress wouldn't do any of this. Well, Empress didn't even walk on their own. I think they carried them into the shitter, and the Empress pooped, and they had like an official poop cutter that would cut that poop off. Okay. Yeah. With their lacquered nails, with their lacquered nails, yeah. No, lacquered nails is like to scoop.
So you're saying that Edward Scissorhands underneath them.
Yeah. I think she didn't do anything. So I think, all things considered, she was as open-minded as you could expect.
Egwene Scissorhands.
And I think again, Matt's charisma is going to be hard. I'd be curious to see how they translate it, because again with Matt, it's what makes Matt lovable for me, what I really liked, is his internal monologue of him going, I am not a hero. And then meanwhile he's swinging from the top of a barn to like kick these people who are trying to kill Eludra. So I'm not a hero, he says, as he saves the day. And he does kind of help Tuon, and he does have his thing against Aes Sedai, but it is this like, I don't know, I'm very curious to see how they go about this, because Seanchan will be very I don't think will be met well. I think especially when it's like it is a nation of slavers run by a woman of color, and I don't know if that's gonna I don't know. I'm
wondering how much so is it confirmed we're even going to see the Seanchan?
If we need the Seanchan in the show, that's the thing. For Egwene, for for a lot of Abu Dar. I mean, theoretically, could they kind of hold Seanchan off until we get to Abu Dar in like season 5 or 6? Yeah,
it wouldn't hit as hard.
Yeah,
they would have, if they cut the Seanchan out, you would have a basic black and white good versus evil story, which is not what the Wheel of Time is. It's all about the spaces in between.
Yeah,
I'll give you guys $1 if Shara shows up in there, but Seanchan for sure I think is in there.
Yeah, Shara could have done a lot.
Yeah, so I mean, I've kind of thought the Seanchan will pop up at the very last scene of like the first season. We'll see like the fleets coming in, and we'll have all sorts of forewarning of them, and maybe we'll see like just a glimpse of like a high, Tuon or something. But
will they have the Seanchan but not have the Damane? they've got their beasts, they've got their
That's-
armies,
yes.
but they don't have
Yeah.
the collared women, and they don't have that element.
Interesting.
Oh God, that really does simplify, but does get that problem out of the way, huh?
Like,
Oh wow,
Yes.
Frenzy.
like
Like,
I
can
don't
it
like
be
it
done?
though. I don't like it.
No,
As a-
I don't
mean,
like it either, but
I'm not all about that. I really don't like the torture porn, but it does avoid a lot of the moral ambiguity. But I think it would also be insulting to the audience. I mean, if that's part of the
Here's what I'm.
you really have to look at yourself whenever
Insulting?
you.
Oh,
Yeah, you have to
explain
look at
more.
yourself. Well, it's simplifying the story so much that it's like
Yeah.
saying the audience can't handle a morally ambiguous entities such as the Sanchan. Yes, they have some
Right.
great qualities, but they have some shitty qualities.
You're
And
right.
and is people are asking, do the shitty qualities outweigh the good, or does good outweigh the shitty? That's the wrong question.
We
I could
get
totally- So I could totally, real quick, I could totally see them bringing in the Shanchan. I was only just being a devil's advocate about eliminating them.
Yeah.
I definitely think they're going to be a part of it. I think it's actually kind of an easy narrative to kind of say, okay, that they did not understand that the women controlling the Adams are challenged themselves. Nynaeve actually calls this out very early on, where she says, one or both of them are channeling. I can't tell yet, which is very, very early forewarning. And so I don't think that's going to be a hard narrative. And that will make, once that gets exposed, I can see them either using that as like blackmail or so I don't see that being a hard thing to include. What I really don't want them to include is a freaking game of houses. I can see all of that BS going out the window. I want to see the Aiel, I want to see Shanchan, and I want to see some white cloaks, and I want to be the basic brunt of it. And he just kind of collects armies along the way, and we don't really need to get into why he does it or how.
Yeah, Dias Damar is a thing that we're gonna have to face it's stealing from Game of Thrones, and it's like, no, because that's what I thought at first.
It's almost like politics never existed until
Yeah.
George R. R. Martin and Robert Jordan wrote their books.
It's a thing of like political maneuvering has been a thing, and I hope it's important. It's important for Rand at the beginning of the Shadow Rising, because that's how he's able to kind of gain some semblance of control over the Lords, because Tom plays Dias Damar by planting that node. So it's important, but I don't know. I think if they just call it Dias Damar and don't call it Game of Houses, I feel like that can avoid the me,
But is it too complicated for a show? And people's biggest complaints about Game of Thrones is just the it's too complicated. Can't remember the names, can't remember the characters, you get lost. The average fan was really lost at some points in Game of Thrones.
There are
we don't care about
Daenerys of House Targaryen, Mother of Chains, Mother of Dragons, rattle off the 3-paragraph essay that is her title. They can remember Dias Damar, or Valor Morgulis. They can recite that. They can do Dias Damar. And I think Wheel Time isn't as... Well, no, never mind. It is very naming.
It's huge.
House Trakan, House Damondred, House, every house this.
Talmanis.
I was trying to think what's Talmanis' house.
Yes.
Failed. Failed. All right.
But
the
It's
other
hard
thing
enough for them to
happened,
follow all the Forsaken. This is
there's
very
13 of them.
involved.
They're all
I
over
think
the
they're
place.
going to cut a lot of the Forsaken, because you kind of have to break it down to, you need a Shamael, you need Lanfear, Moghedien, yes, Grendel, Asmodean. I feel like Ravine you could maybe kind of do without.
He kind of
Bilal.
did, but-
What is Bilal? Bilal does nothing. So
Do you need both Demandred and Samael?
Ooh, I want Timandred. I think you can. Well, because
is that name related to Maureen's last name?
Trakan, Demandred, Tamandred. Yeah.
But my memory of the series is very loose. But I feel like Timandred is so out of it for a majority of it, and I think Samael just kind of is again in the background. I think it's very much kind of going. If we did 7, or if we did 5 5 or 6, like a decent number enough that.
Or just let them stay dead once they're dead. Don't keep recycling them.
Yeah,
Right.
I think like the death of Agenor and Balthamel, that can go, and we can get rid of the very problematic
Sindane.
Arengar.
Arengar, Osengar, yeah.
Osengar, because
Yeah.
Osengar just kind of vibes for a little bit, you know? I think doing it for one of them, maybe, I think just as a, oh, shit, like when Lanfear comes back as
Sindane.
Sindane, I think just to show she's not back yet. But I think, yeah, bringing everyone back, I think we can do.
See, I think that I'm with you, Prince. I think that he should bring the dark one, non-binary, should bring back one Forsaken, and that person should become nameless. There should be no Super Fade, Shadar Hiran, I believe his name is. I think Super Fade. Fuck that. They bring
a gun that was never fired.
They bring back one person, and that person is nameless.
Super Fade.
Yeah.
I'm Super Fade. Hey! I'm Super Fade.
Super Fade.
It just
Give me 3, Ryan. 1, 2, 3.
I'm Super Fade. War.
Give me 2.
Good God, yeah. What is it good for?
Super Fade.
Bring it back. Right.
The name is Riatin. For Talmanis is Talmanis Riatin. That's
Okay.
I looked it up. Looked it up.
All right, so Glenn, I'm nope. You're absolutely wrong on every level. Glenn says, keep all the Forsaken, recycle them as the books does. Drop Morgasi storyline.
Morgase.
I'm just playing, guys. I'm a humorous podcast.
Come on,
Have
we're smart.
Ravine kill her in front of Rand in such a way to frame Rand. Okay.
That's not bad.
I don't mind them killing off Morgase, just because. Like, I also think Morgase did not deserve a line in Rand's speech, because I'm like, he barely interacted with her except for like one moment in Eye of the World, and I'm like, he remembers her out of everyone else. I'm like, wait, why not Elaine? Why not Min? Why not, like, it was about a woman who saw the future but fought for the present or something? I don't know. We could kill her.
But I mean, hey, it's the only mom he met of all his lovers. Gotta give props to his stepmom.
Speaking of Min in this chapter
her mom-in-law,
cuts the hand that is holding Elaine, allowing her to escape.
Yeah.
What a badass heroic move. Min is badass, and she's wearing a dress. She wasn't even wearing her breeches, and she still whipped out that knife. Boom! Cut that dude's hand, and Elaine gets away.
Where is she keeping that knife then?
It's a secret. Trade secret. Trade secret. Don't ask. You don't want to know. You don't want to know. You don't want to know.
I've watched lots of Japanese style dark web shit. I know what's going on.
No, Min was amazing in the ending part of the Great Hunt. That was just a crowning moment, and that's why there are people like me who are just so disappointed with her character later in the series, because she's just this awesome badass that we love, and then she becomes a sexy lamp.
She's a badass normal almost, and I think the fact that Min is with Egwene.
Prison wallet.
No! I think the fact that Min is there with Egwene, it adds a bit of solace to it.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, at least she has a friend who can be there for her. I mean, it's through really shitty.
In reality. Yeah.
Yeah, because Rena's like, if you're good, we'll let Min visit, and it's kind of just this like, okay.
Cool. And like, I get a cookie.
Well, let's also. This is a hard thing to say, but
Scooby Snack.
It could have been much worse for Egwene, as we see with the other demonic. She seems to get the coolest fucking Soldom in the bunch. Rena is cool compared to all the other Soldom.
Oh yeah,
the other Soldom's like cut her fucking tongue out.
Oh yeah, it's like she could have easily gotten the other one, who's just very much like just tapping her knife on her hand, just like, when do we kill her? Let's just do it. Right. Rena's very much like, you don't know what it's like to be a demonic. Let me tell you, this is your last warning. So it's
management style, Rena is not bad.
No, she is not.
So like, you know what? Like, look, it's
She does
always
the good
recommended if you're gonna get a puppy,
Right.
get two, right?
So it's a shitty thing to say, but if that other Soldom had collared fucking Egwene, her life, there would be no friendship with men, no visiting days. She wouldn't have a tongue to speak with, and she'd be sleeping in a kennel or a stable.
Yeah, she would have been broken a lot worse. And I mean, it's an interesting road to see what would have happened to her, but yeah.
It's a good cop, bad cop thing.
Yeah.
Here, you can trust me. I'm being kind to you. I could give you to this other soldier who's going to cut off your hands and your tongue and make you sleep in a box.
Yeah.
Right.
We all know.
You don't
We
need
all know
your hands.
boxes are bad in real time. So,
Right.
So be good, and maybe you'll get a cookie, a Scooby snack in the form of men visiting you.
Yeah.
Right, and we do see that this is the connection in the next chapters coming up when Min visits. There's demonstrations of the Adam where she cannot grab a knife; her hand cramps away and will not physically grab a knife. We hear that she had considered using a pitcher to bash Rena and couldn't. It was sick every time she even looked at the pitcher for 3 days. This thing is the Adam is weird. She was getting hit by invisible switches at first from Rena, but then Min also gets hit by switches at the end of this chapter. I don't know if you guys remember that, but Min kind of says, "No, stop," and suddenly she's warding off invisible things that someone else had hit her.
I thought it was from one of the Damane, like one of the Damane nearby had
Yes.
been told the channel.
Right. So I guess the Soldom tells the Damani, "All right, whip her," and then
Whipper's
she's
good.
whipping. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Ryan, your hat looks kind of like that Devo hat,
Oh my god.
brother Ryan.
Yeah.
Thank
You
you.
playing the long game right there.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for this for a long time.
Yeah. Finally.
My time has come.
the shirt even, right? Anyways.
Yeah.
So, and then again, she gets when she's free, she uses the pitcher to bash her, which is kind of a nice narrative arc.
Right.
I kind of think my prediction is that they are going to have the Shanchan, and they're going to have the Soldom and the Adam and the Damani, but they're not going to actually make it look like an actual collar with chain links. I think it's going to be easy to like get around that in some other ways, so it's not such a direct like visual challenging link between like American history of his slavery and this fantasy world. So I think they can come up with something less right.
They could easily
They
make
could,
it
but
that
I
Egwene
don't
gets
think they will.
shielded or something, you know?
I don't think they will. I think they're going to throw it out there in all its ugly glory
I know. I think they're going to
and make
it.
the audience wrestle with it.
Remember
Yeah. I
those
hope they
things
challenge us.
You remember those things you put like those little leashes that you used to put on kids?
Oh my god.
Like the little rubber leashes that like
A harness.
Harness.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'll be more like that.
Yeah, I like that.
It's
Egwene tries to
got
run
more
and
of
she
a
just
bondage. It has more of a bondage kink to it, though. That way.
Hey, now you're talking.
Okay, I'm not really not selling this, am I?
It's just basically fuzzy like handcuffs.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Just pink fuzzy handcuffs. Put this on, Damani.
Yeah, no one's had bad connotations of those.
Oh my god. Why are you wearing leather, Soldom? Don't worry about it. What?
No, not
And
the
then end of
handcuffs.
season 1. Oh my god. A slow remix of Crazy in Love begins playing.
All right, Dan Liu agrees with Frenzy that they will keep the collar and the leash. Let's put money on it. No, just kidding.
Oh my god.
You're funny.
Oh, you guys can't wait for the What Wednesday drop where they show the slave collar. Wow, that's gonna be really fan
That'll be
favorite.
Out of context, like, hey, this isn't actually as bad as it looks. It's bad, but wait, hold on.
Yeah. No, it's still
I
bad.
think if they made it a snap bracelet,
Yeah.
it would help. I think if it was like you are next to Marty.
I think it'll just look more like a Fitbit on their wrist.
Yeah.
like a futuristic Fitbit that once you have it on, like, oh fuck.
Uh,
Well, and I agree.
No,
I think
no.
that this, I think that this thing right here that Egwene goes through is vital to her progression, and I think it just like the flicker scene. So the flicker scene, right? Ingtar at the end renounces his being a dark friend, uh, and he must have seen some shit.
Yeah.
All these people must have seen some shit. You talk about trauma. All these people lived lives and died over and over and over again.
Oh yeah.
That is traumatic in its own right.
And I think
Would Ingtar have changed from being a dark friend if he had not gone through that traumatic experience? Ryan and everyone?
I don't think so. I think because he wouldn't have been able to see the different ways his life would have gone, I don't think he would have been able to see that, you know?
he started down the path on his own. He saw reclaiming the horn as his path to salvation, his path out of what he thought, maybe he was starting to regret it, but I think the flicker scene showed him how horrible he could have been. And now he's even wants the horn even more because he's desperate for that salvation. And, the flicker scene, it was trauma. Like you said, it was trauma on Rand, seeing everything that could have happened or did happen, all the choices that he made. It messed Matt up pretty seriously. Going through that, but Matt doesn't really face his demons all that well, at least not at the beginning parts of the story.
had marks on his face from him scratching at his eyes.
Yeah.
So
a little bit of foreshadowing for what happens in Ruidian to that one dude.
Muradin.
Yeah. I even think, and I could be wrong, let me grab my copy of The Great Hunt, that I'm like, maybe I'm reading into this incorrectly. I have the page number. When they are all chilling in the inn where they're talking about the Dark Prophecy, 584. Ingtar, they're talking about the Dark Prophecy, and Ingtar goes, I mean to have the Horn of Valir, and Ingtar said firmly, forgive me, but I have to trust my own senses before some words scrawled by a Trolloc, a Murdral, surely, Viren murmured, but he did not even pause, or a dark friend seeming to betray himself out of his own mouth. I'm like, did he out himself as a dark friend at that moment?
If you knew what you were looking for.
Okay. Yep. Well, there you go.
Wow. Interesting. I didn't read it that way. I thought he was referring to Pat and Fane.
Oh, see, I think, because it has been a while since I've read The Great Hunt, I kind of forgot. I was like, oh shit, did he just... And I think no one caught it,
Yeah, so Mary, do you think that Varen and Ingtar knew that they were dark friends?
I wouldn't put it past Varen to know. I'm pretty sure Ingtar didn't know.
About Varen, yeah.
About Varen, but I get the feeling Varen knew.
Oh, yeah. At some point, you could almost look at all the interactions they have and see it as him knowing and asking advice as a dark friend to a dark friend, which is interesting. But, guys, really, it is time for us to take a break. This has been one of the most amazing conversations we've ever had. We normally take a break at the 1 hour mark, so we've just sailed past it.
Woohoo!
This is one of the greatest episodes so far. We're going to take a 10-minute break. You guys are going to listen to some music, and then we will come back for some games, maybe some more discussion.
We got some floaty coming up, too.
It's time to float with our first-time reader friend. Yes. All right. So we will see you guys. Mute your mics for 10 minutes if you don't mind. Thank you.
Notice your mind working. How it plans for the future. Visits the past. Notice those thoughts and set them aside. left unchecked. It's chaotic, destructive, but if controlled, it can be a powerful tool. The lamp controls the flame, as you must learn to control your emotions.
That was called the Crossing the Delaware, Ryan.
Whoa, I was very, very impressed, my man. Super impressed. All right, we are returning, and we have a special guest waiting. Dan?
Guys, I don't like to brag. I do not mean to gloat. But put your hands together for it's time to float.
Hey, and here he is. Oh, is he? Oh, whoa, that is a highly marked book I'm seeing.
That is annotated. And they lived happily ever after.
Right at the
Hey, how you doing, Floaty? It's been a while.
I'm good. How are y'all?
It's been a while.
I'm better to see
Yeah.
you, my friend.
Good to see you too.
Let's jump right into this because time is becoming an issue, and I want to get your views on this whole betrayal of for Egwene and Nynaeve. Tell me what's going through your head as you're reading this, Floats.
I was just like, when Egwene got caught, I was like, what the fuck? What? What?
Right. Were you surprised when they exited the Waygate and there were all these people there?
Yes and no.
Okay.
So
what
part
do
of me was like, okay, we know Leandrin's a Black Aja. It honestly makes sense, but at that point, I was like, yeah, I'm not so sure she's gonna do what she says.
Right. So this is the first time that we've had like some confirmation of evil Aes Sedai, correct?
Right.
We've heard about him, but we've never seen an Aes Sedai do evil things.
Right.
Does that do anything to you for you?
What do you mean?
Well, I
Yeah,
mean,
what do you mean, Dan?
I mean, we had heard about the Black Aja, but we'd also heard stories about all kinds of things. So who knows if it was true or not? Yeah, the Black Aja. Oh, watch out! There's also Boogeyman. There's also Creeper Neebers, or whatever. You know, so it was
Creeper
just kind
Neebers.
of it was just a rumor until we had confirmation through this evil act, more or less, by Leandrin. So, what do you think? How many? What is the Black Aja? How many are there? And what is their purpose? What are your ideas of the Black Aja right now? Then,
My assumption is that they work somehow for the Dark One, or somebody working for him.
okay. There's you'd said Leandrin was one. How many are there?
I'm gonna go random and say quite like over 100.
Oh, okay. So you think there's a substantial number then?
Oh yeah.
Okay. And what do you think that their ultimate goal is with bringing Egwene and Nynaeve to the Shanchin? We hear that they have a similar master, and that the end goal is for Nynaeve and Egwene to end up across the Aerith Ocean, back to Shantown. So what do you think? What do you think the plan is?
So we obviously know now they're trying to enslave all the Aes Sedai that could channel.
Right, but it seemed like they were going to get in trouble if those two specifically weren't captured and sent over.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Right. So what is the plan then for who's the master and why is he concerned with
Baltamon, of course.
And he's concerned with Egwene and Nynaeve and wants to bring them across the ocean?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Right on.
He thinks they're a threat to them. So he's like, okay, we're gonna send them across the ocean so they can't help Rand, given Nynaeve is gonna be one of those more powerful Aes Sedai than, let's say, Moraine.
Okay, right on. And Frenzy and Prince, if you guys, this is a conversation here for us also. Anything you want to jump in and comment on Floaty's thoughts, by all means, let's do it. But we are keeping it spoiler free while he's on.
Right on.
Beautiful.
Where'd he go?
Uh-oh. Spoiler.
Did you kick him
free,
out?
Nope, that must have been coincidental.
Well, hey, you can talk to Floaty. He's like, nope, bye.
Hey,
Floaty, you're doing great.
yeah.
Thanks.
So, what do you think about the collar and the relationship between the Solnam and the Damane?
It's horrible.
Oh yeah, it is horrible.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
He's
Okay.
on mute.
All right, he's back. Yay!
Welcome back.
I'm back.
Yeah, it is horrible.
I know
I
it's
think
just
that's
like
like-
how they were treating, like, for instance, Egwene like a dog, whatever. I was like, what the fuck? Mind blown.
Yeah.
Right.
Were you feeling
And
bad for her?
everything
Oh
is her
yeah,
fault.
I couldn't even read that chapter at one time.
You're right. It's really one of the hardest chapters to read. So
I was
far,
like,
huh?
yeah, I'm gonna read this chunk and then come back to this later. It was like maybe 5 days after I started it.
Yes.
Oh wow. Yeah.
It's some heavy stuff.
Oh yeah.
It just wasn't vibing.
It's one way of putting it.
We hear that the Idam was created by an Aes Sedai.
Yo.
Do you have any? Did that make you think of anything? Did you put any notes in there about that connection?
About what?
The irony, I guess, that an Aes Sedai essentially created something that captures Aes Sedais.
They're basically doing it against themselves, essentially.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So Min gets punished a bit too. Min and Egwene.
Yeah.
But Egwene, for the most part, in this little chapter, I think she gets nettles, the stinging nettles,
Yo.
twice, and she
All
gets
of it.
beat with sticks twice.
Yo.
What? Yeah. Tell me what you think about Egwene's plight right now.
It's not very good.
Yeah. Anything else though? I mean, sure.
Definitely
She's
not
hopeless
vibing.
at this point.
Yeah. Okay. It's not very good. Yeah.
Do you think she's going to come out of this? What do you think is going to happen next? Do you think what do you think is going to happen next, buddy?
How am I supposed to answer that after I've already finished the book?
Oh yeah. You finished the book.
Oh, goodness gracious!
Yeah, I'm on the Dragon Reborn.
Nice.
There we go. Yeah. So whoa,
So obviously she gets Nynaeve saves her, obviously.
Right.
Mm.
Right. But we see when they were supposed to be quiet, they're like, all right, sneak. Hey, we're sneak. And Egwene was having none of that shit. She sees the Shanchin in front of him and she's like, you know what they did to me? You know what they did to me? I'll show you what they taught me. And picks a fight. And she picks a fight.
Oh yeah.
That she shouldn't have.
This all started. She learned some stuff though with this collar. She learned how to be an aggressive. She learned how to be a weapon.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
the course
Do you
of
think
a few
that's-
weeks.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Do you think this experience is gonna make her have you change her decision making in the future?
For
books?
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was there anything about this chapter else about this chapter? And we're not going to talk about the other chapter. 41 was such a
Good.
nothing chapter. It's
Good.
balls on. Loose there.
And then
loose there.
this quote from Nynaeve's POV just stuck out to me as she was talking to Leandrin, which says, I will make her curse the day her mother laid eyes on her father.
That's
I
a
love
cool.
It's so good.
Got dark so fast.
Oh yeah.
She obviously wants to kill Leandrin. It's confirmed.
Right. Sheldon Victor. Yeah. That's awesome. All right,
That's a
Floaty,
great quote.
thank you for joining us. Sorry we can only do one chapter. We're kind of running a little
It's fine.
short. You are the best. It's been a while. We're always glad to have you on. Guys, you can read
Thank you.
Floaty's thoughts. He's apparently now on The Dragon Reborn, but he's been
Chapter
blogging.
2.
Chapter 2. That's when it starts cooking, I even.
That's Matt's first POV, I've heard.
So we get, go ahead and look up Floaty. He's in the description, right, Ryan?
The apps of
It better be.
frickin' buddy.
There we go.
Absolutely.
Finally, he is in. He is in there. So,
Hey, you know what? Threatening is not the way.
What's the threading?
Floaty, we love you. Thank you. We will see you.
Thank
next
you.
week. And keep reading. Keep reading, you filthy animal.
Will do.
All right.
All right, float away.
Bye. We love him.
I miss him already.
Man,
I miss
Floaty
him.
kills it. Floaty kills it.
Yeah.
All right. So let us. All right. You guys are almost our new best friends, right? But there's 5 quick questions that we need to get to know you a little bit better. All right. So they're very easy for the most part.
Tell us
And
about
I'll
your
start-
mother.
Tell us about your mother. So, who's your daddy, and what does he do?
Picture it. This is
What do
like
you see in this
1927.
picture?
The Rorschach,
Oh my god.
the Horn of Valera. Yes.
Is
What do you see in
this
this
an
picture?
island or is this a penis? An inlet?
All right.
Not just
We will.
Tarvalon.
I will start
Wait,
with.
brother. Dan, sorry. What would you say, Frenzy?
I said it's not just Tarvalon's map that is questionable.
Oh, yeah. Tom
Right.
and
I looked
Kitten,
at him
man.
like, "Oh, are you kidding me? Come on, Falma, my left foot." All right.
You guys seen the Little Mermaid, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
This is
The
the
original.
bone. This is the bone of the pre-sketch.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh,
They
gosh.
should have made Falm like a little teardrop island just positioned off of Tom and Head. Tom and Head is also the name of the gay bar near the Black Tower. Tom and Head.
Yeah.
I hear if you ask about the way of the leaf, they get you into the back room.
Oh yeah.
This is the way. This is the way.
This is the way.
It's
So, like,
all about
to the left is-
passive acceptance.
To the left is the way to leave. To the right, I think, is the way of the dust. Maybe if you're into that.
Gateways mean something else than the gay bars, if you know what I mean.
Skimming. No, hey, you guys. What are you guys doing today? We're just going skimming.
He's gonna go skimming. They've really kind of gotten the shady backroom section with the glory holes with travel. So it's very great.
Guys, I just want to say, so far I've learned about the prison wallet, which is my new favorite thing ever.
That's a great one.
And now Prince Adolin, I think, is going to teach me something new soon.
Yeah. The rebirth of glory holes.
That's my panel at JordanCon is how gay can I make this? And it ends when Team Jordan pulls me off the stage.
How gay can I make this?
The boar is
Your
sealed.
challenge
If
accepted.
you know what I mean.
The boar is sealed.
The board got
Yeah.
that suppository. It's good.
That is amazing. So,
All right. The 5 quick questions. All right.
right.
Start with you, Frenzy.
Proceed.
Have you ever seen a real palace in real life, and if so, where?
Yes, I have. In Napa, California, there's a winery called Castello de Amoroso, and it's built like a 14th century Italian castle, complete with a torture chamber. It's where I get my wine from.
Nice.
Speaking of
Okay.
torture chambers, join the Way of the Least Patreon.
Oh my god.
Yeah, there we go. Well said.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good. How about you, Prince?
Buckingham Palace. I went to England in 2019.
Oh, I thought
and
that was a gay bar. You're
Buckingham. No, that's something else. That's Buckingham. Buckingham.
Buckingham Palace. Yeah.
Puppy.
Oh, pretty.
But yes, I did get to see it. I did like you can tour different parts of London, and I did the tour where we got to see the Royal Guard coming in, and we got to see the palace, and I saw Oprah kind of like standing a little bit back, going, "My time is soon. My time is soon."
She's like,
She
one
dove
day.
she dove into the bushes, and it was one of those things where you went. She was a gray man. She went.
Yeah, those guards, they stand there. They don't do shit. They know Oprah's. They know they have a stray Oprah, and they don't do anything.
Stray Oprah. I suppose. But yes, Buckingham Palace, and I feel like I saw a castle in castle in Ireland. It was like a residence that was like beautiful, gorgeous. But very beautiful castles in the United Kingdom / Ireland.
All right, you guys. Right? Have you?
That's That's the first quorum. That's the first time we've all seen castles.
Yeah, I think so. Well done. Have you? We'll start with you, Prince. Have you ever eaten anything that you would consider to be a honey cake?
Well, I did meet this man named Honey. No, I'm kidding. I mean, technically, if you I went to college in Kentucky, and so so it's kind of the South, so biscuits with honey. So I eat meat, and biscuit is a type of raised flour. So could you call biscuit with honey a honey cake? But no, I have never actually had in a fantasy sense, a honey cake. No, I have not. I will. In 2021 is my year.
Okay. How about you, Frenzy?
Well, I did meet this one girl named Honey.
Yeah.
We bring out the best. We bring out the best in everyone. We just. The doors are wide open.
I love it.
I'd blush if I was human.
You're not?
Oh, don't tell him. Don't tell him. Don't spoil the surprise. Don't spoil
my God.
The fourth wall. The fourth wall.
Come on.
Keep it up.
No one sees my shoulder and headphones sometimes.
I don't know if you put, I would count like a good piece of cornbread with a bunch of butter and honey on it as a good honey cake. I would say I would count that.
So a bread is a cake?
A quick bread like a cornbread is. It's not like you don't let it sit out with yeast and stuff like that where it's more bready like a sourdough. But a cornbread or a pumpkin bread or anything like that is kind of a cake.
Okay.
See, we have Rand walk into a kitchen and go, "Damn, there's some honey cakes."
Dan, you need to blow your nose.
I got my COVID shot on Wednesday, and I'm still little.
He only saw the honey cakes because Matt was walking in front of him. Those are some honey cakes.
So yeah, there you go. No.
Okay, Mary.
Yes.
Do you have any party skills, little party tricks, circus skills, anything that you can do to dazzle a crowd of 2 or 3 people? You know what I mean?
Not just like in bed.
Oh well, I'm glad you clarified that. I'm pretty antisocial. I can just have a lot of weird life experiences. That's all good. My elbows touch when I put my arms straight out for no apparent reason, but other than that,
fourth wall indeed. Your elbows touch. Say again.
My elbows touch when I put my arms straight out.
Okay. See, that's fine. You're not double jointed. You can't do weird things with your tongue like a tube or.
How many Patreons? No.
Yeah. All right. Very nice. Prince, do you? There's Ryan.
I do have a party trick. I don't know if it's a dance move specifically. I'll have to show you guys. Ready?
Okay. Yeah. Oh. Yep.
I can drink a bottle of wine real quick. Oh man. Yeah. No, I have no party skills.
No, you just your arm thing was a total party. We had someone do the worm as
Nice.
their skill.
I did drag for a little bit, and drag queens are essentially party facilitators. So.
Well, yeah, okay.
They're awesome.
All right, right on.
Yeah.
They're awesome.
All right, guys.
I tell inappropriate jokes at inappropriate times.
Oh, you and
Yeah.
me, and I find that I laugh at wrong too.
Oh, I've seen some really awful, like just awfully like dark humor drag acts. Like they're great. I saw someone dressed as Joan Benet Ramsey eating a bowl of pineapple. Like just like.
Oh,
there's
my.
some like it's kind of like if
Eating
you
a
want to
bowl
see
of
some
pineapple.
yeah, if you want to see some dark stuff, like it's so like, but it's so funny.
I actually won at Drag Bingo one time.
Nice. Drag bingo is always fun.
It was fun, and I got a mug, a coffee cup that had an old dude that said, "I shaved my balls for this."
Oh my god.
Yep.
That is perfect.
Yep.
Well,
That is
well,
awesome.
well, did you?
Did you?
Not for that. Not for that.
Oh, okay.
Not for bingo. No.
Okay.
Not yet.
All right. So, yeah, night ain't over. All right. So, guys, question number 4. Prince, I'll ask you. You walk into a bar, and there is 3 very happily drunk, very lugubrious, and want to converse kind of drunk people at this bar, sitting apart from one another. At one table, you have Mandragoran, Mandragoran, or whatever. You have at another table, you have Tam Althor. And at the
Westlands.
And at the third table, you have Asmodean. You have 1 hour. You can talk, and they seem that they will spill the guts about whatever the fuck you ask.
I'm chilling with Tam just because I feel like Tam will be a little bit more fun to talk to. I feel like Asmodean is just that. Yeah, Tam first.
Okay.
Because he'll interject that responsible dad energy of just, have you had some water? Am I also drunk or am I sober?
That's a good question.
Is this my 3rd bar of the night? And I'm like, hey guys.
No, you just walk in and you're however you want. I would say you are beautifully buzzed.
Okay. Oh, that changes. Yeah, I'm still gonna say Tam Althor because if I got a good buzz, I'll probably just go to the DILF dude.
Okay.
It is not a joke. Tam Althor is the DILF of the Westlands. You, master of the deck, and I will verify this. I will fight on this.
Oh, that's awesome.
What about you, Frenzy?
I don't know. Oh my gosh. I get the feeling that Len would be too taciturn, but he'd be the person I'd want to. I'd probably go sit there for 5 minutes. All right, that was great. You do your thing. I'm going to wander off over here. Sitting at Asmodean's table, it'd be like sitting at the jilted band kids table for it, just to hear how horrible everybody has treated him. Yeah, I don't need to hear that. I work in public service. I get paid to hear that on a regular basis. I'd be probably over hanging out with Tam and commiserating on what it's like dealing with the village council and the women's circle and raising an 18-year-old and that is what it's like to serve in the military in another country and come back and deal with that. And guess what I found on the way home, guys?
I'm shocked no one wants to know about how someone becomes a Dark One, how someone becomes a Forsaken, or how someone what it's like to be bonded to an Aes Sedai and being Lan. There's all kinds of neat questions that you can ask.
Oh, yeah.
I would make our guests feel bad about.
I would go to the darker. Yeah.
Totally
Asmodean there is a right answer.
Oh, there
It's
is. A,
Asmodean, yeah.
oh, no points given. Sorry, no points.
Sorry,
Darn
guys. You guys tried.
Bummer.
All
I
right,
just
last
lost
question.
$30,000 to this. I had it on TAM.
Last question, Prince.
Yes.
What was your first concert?
Oh, in sync. I was in the fifth grade, so not fifth grade. It was 1990. It was like 2000, so I was in the first grade.
Is that when you
and
first realized?
this?
Oh, you do puppets too? You do puppets?
Yeah, just
This?
wondering. Is that? Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
This? No, that was seventh grade.
Okay.
Like this.
Badass.
No, my first concert was no. I think it wasn't even in
love
sync. It was this girl group who I cannot remember their names.
Cheetah Girls.
No, girl, I had more taste than that. No, I cannot remember. But I'm gonna say in sync. Only because like they were throwing their like sweaty towels out, and I in the nosebleeds thought that I would catch one, and I was like, please, and then I didn't catch one, and I was a diva all night. So there's that.
JC, throw it really hard.
Yeah, Lance, come on, girl, I got you, like, solidarity.
That's awesome. And where was it?
Where?
Yeah, the Forum.
Hollywood Bowl.
Probably Staples Center.
Oh God, you are so young.
I'm 27.
Huh.
Oh, is it?
Staples Center's that old, huh?
Yeah,
Who knew?
Staples Center's still going. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, man, I remember when they were building that. Anyways,
Back in that day.
yeah. Frenzy, what was your
All right,
first concert?
I will answer that, but you have to ask me what my last concert was too when we're done.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
My first
Fair
concert was Janet Jackson's 1814 tour.
enough.
Saw that at
No.
Oakland Coliseum.
Miss
Jackson, if you're
nasty.
Yes, thank
Yeah,
you.
I had won tickets from a radio station. I took my best friend. We were like in middle school, I think, maybe early high school. Neither of us could drive, so my mom drove us up there. She hung out in the car reading a book while we were inside at the show. It was great. It was
Nice.
and then
That's a cool
yeah.
mom.
I still have a little pin from that concert.
Nice.
They give you a pin. It said it was the 1814 logo from that album. It was fun. It was awesome. I love live music. I can't wait till live music is back.
Same.
Mm,
Yeah. We're actually going to a concert, but it was scheduled ahead of time, so they have isolation bubbles of like 4 people that we're going to. But I guess there's my wife's going to a show at Red Rocks this coming up this July, I guess. So they're opening that up.
Ooh,
Hopefully.
interesting.
Frenzy, what was your last concert?
The last concert I went to was Slayer with Primus and Ministry, and that was that was also up in
My
Oakland.
God.
I think so, and that one I paid for cheap tickets, so I was up in the roof, which is probably not the best
Nice.
place to be. Although it was great for a real cheap secondhand.
Yeah.
I mean, tell you.
Wow.
But it was the Slayer farewell tour, and it was probably the 4th, maybe the 5th time I've seen them, and it was a great show. It was awesome.
My last
I
I
concert
saw Jesus there.
How
Took
is
my picture with him.
My last
Primus
concert-
sucks.
Primus
I've seen
sucks.
Primus
Yeah.
probably at least
new best friend.
20 times. Primus sucks. I love him.
My last concert was Frank Turner. He's this like rock musician from England, and it was at the Palladium. Me and my friend, we were like, the beers were $8, but we were just like, let's just do it. We saw the Homeless Gospel Choir and this other punk band, but I was just like, and then
Homeless Gospel Choir.
yeah, which I thought was gonna be the legit a choir of homeless people singing gospel songs. No, it's just one little dude. I was like, all right.
He's got range. He's just got a lot of range.
Yeah. Alto soprano.
The Ballad of Steve by Frank Turner.
Yes. Homeless Gospel
Steve.
Choir. Homeless Gospel Choir was a
Steve.
falsetto
Steve.
child.
Steve.
Steve.
I say,
Everyone.
what about
yeah.
Dana? Dana.
Dana.
Everyone says forgot about Dana.
Hey Ryan, Dana, we don't know that Dana is a female. You had a good friend named Dana who is a male.
Correct. We don't know.
We don't know that Steve is
anyone
not female.
We don't know if anyone is anything, and I'm fine with
We
that.
don't. Yeah.
I know.
Guys,
Ryan,
you
though.
made it. Guys, you made it. You're best friends now. Yeah.
Woohoo!
Awesome. Ryan, let's get into. You want to do the game or you want to do the thank you, Internet? You want to end on the game?
Huh? Let's do the game right now. This is the
Okay,
game
let's do the
music.
game.
All right, guys.
Game.
This is the game that is, sweeping the nation, as we say. As we like to say, this game is called
Jerry's the game show host.
Pharmaceutical. What name or Italian town? That's right. I'm going to give you a random name. Or Dan, are we going to just give them to both contestants and see what?
Yeah. We'll just go back and forth and see who. Yeah.
This is just a total free for all.
Oh my god.
And let's see. And the points matter. They really, really, really matter. All right, you're first.
Well, no, Ryan. There's an addendum to the point system. So if you are right, you get an additional name. You get an additional point if you are able to say what the pharmaceutical drug does, who the Wheel of Time person was,
what the gross national product of the town is,
or who the mayor of the
So I'm saying either the mayor, like what is their major export, or their GDP. So
okay.
All right, first up is
Luna.
Oh.
We'll start with you, Prince.
Pharmaceutical.
Okay.
And it helps. It's a sleep aid, probably.
Okay, good guess. Frenzy.
I'm going to say pharmaceutical as well. And yeah, I don't know what it does though.
Oh, I'm sorry, you guys are both wrong. It's a what name? It's Gaiden Lunal, Captain General for the Sanshan in Altura. Yeah, sorry guys.
Wow.
Sorry, yeah.
Darn.
You gotta be
Interesting.
Yeah, you gotta be up. Gotta be up.
All right.
These
All
are
right.
not easy at all. And we'll just wait. Go ahead and just guess pharmaceutical, Wheel of Time, and Italian City. And if you're right, then we'll give you the chance to give you an extra
Okay.
Okay.
That's fair.
Okay, Frenzy, you're first.
That's a town in Italy.
Okay, Prince.
Okay.
I'm gonna say what name?
All right, this is the town in Italy, and
What's the
their
mayor?
gross national product are elastic.
Right, there's no extra
coffins.
points. There's no extra points for Italian names. Sorry. That is a town in Italy. Very good. Frenzy gets a point. All right, Prince, you're up now.
All right. Next up is
Rodera. Rodera. Pharmaceutical.
Okay, Frenzy.
Pharmaceutical is what came to my mind.
Okay, right.
all right. So Rodera is it's a Wheel of Time name. It's a Maid in the Spear and the Gaishan. Yeah, sorry. This is tough, guys. This is tough,
Wow.
guys. There are certain.
Great.
Guys, but ask your doctor what if Rodera works for you.
Dan, you love that joke?
I do. It's so great. That joke created this whole game, Ryan.
Oh my god.
All right, so let's keeping on with. All right, Liletta. Ask your doctor if Liletta is someone you should take home and have sex with.
It sounds like an Italian town.
Liletta. I'm gonna roll the dice again. Wheel of Time name.
Oh, so no, sorry guys, that is a pharmaceutical.
What does it do, Ryan?
don't have that in front of me right
Okay.
now.
No, it's okay.
We'll get that for the next one. Yeah, so Liletta is a pharmaceutical drug. Usually it's some sort of embarrassing cream.
Oh.
All right, because Brother Dan is in charge of getting these names.
Hey.
All right, so I think we're just seeing Dan's search history. All right, so
We let her.
It's an IUD.
let's
I looked
go.
it up. It's an IUD.
It's an IC. I'm telling you, we're
Hey.
seeing. Like... all right, next up is. Leafa.
Lifa.
Leafa. Whose turn is it?
I'll say it's yours.
Oh. Italian town.
Italian town.
Ryan?
I'm sorry, Leafa is a dark friend merchant, presumably killed by Fael's party. It is. It's not
you
looking
guys.
good for you guys.
Yeah, we're not doing too
You
well.
haven't gotten one name right yet. All right, it's okay. I have faith in you.
Okay.
All right, so up next is. Let me get back over there.
I giggle as I'm creating these lists. I know they are evil.
They are Mirage. Nicki Mirage.
That's a Wheel of Time character.
I'm gonna go with the person who's been reading the series since '91 and say Wheel of Time character.
He's San-Chen.
Oh, let's see. It is a Wheel of Time character, and it is Kenar Mirage.
Kenar Mirage.
Hey, what's his full name and title?
I don't know. I know he's San-Chen, and I'm trying to think if he was the crazy. No, that was Ajimbura was the crazy one that drank from the skull.
God, Frenzy, I'm very disappointing. Very disappointed. This is obviously it's the Captain General of the ever victorious army and of the blood.
Ajimbura.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Come on, man.
Obviously. Yeah, he's got all the nails done.
All right, now let's go with
Actually, no. When I looked him up, he only had his pinky.
Ooh.
New Orleans.
Italian town.
I'll go Italian town.
Please.
sorry. Nope. Yeah, I know. Hold on. It is a.
It's a pharmaceutical, isn't it?
It's a pharmaceutical.
I'm so confused by some. No, it is an Italian town.
Hey!
Is that right?
Lohissimos.
That's amazing. So, what is their GDP? Major
No,
export?
we got Takarle.
At least.
Whoa.
Right,
Oh, no.
Navarra.
Boom.
Ooh.
Frenzy.
I'm gonna say, is that a kind of bicycle? No, I'm gonna say a Wheel of Time name.
I'm gonna say
It's a bicycle.
I'm gonna say pharmaceutical.
It is an Italian town. Yes. All right, we're gonna keep it up. Here we have.
You did that one already.
We did that one.
We did Loletta.
Double set.
Apple set.
I'll cut that out of the
Pharmaceutical.
post.
It's gotta be a pharmaceutical.
That's a pharmaceutical.
Yes, it treats fungal infections.
Yeah.
You
Yep.
don't have to admit how you know that.
Guys, it totally does.
Who doesn't want to hang out with a bunch of fun guys?
Oh my god. Isn't that
That's
just banned
great.
with one hand?
Yay! What do you mean, boo? That was great.
That was something.
All right,
That was
here we
that was
go.
a Tam joke.
Next up,
Acid.
that was a Tam joke. Yeah, Rob would be proud.
I'm gonna say pharmaceutical.
It's
Ace
not
done.
acetone? Ace done.
Ace done.
Oh,
Acetone.
I'm gonna say Italian town.
Guys, it's a Wheel of Time character.
Oh,
Rubinde Acedone, sitter of the Green Aja, and loyalist by who voted to depose Swan.
oh man.
Okay.
She was a sitter, guys.
Yeah.
Her last name, though.
Yeah, it's a last name.
All right, here we go. Let's
House
go
Acedone.
on with.
Road Dravar.
Rodravar. That sounds Wheel of Time-ish, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Rod River. Yeah, baby.
Rod River. That's the river near the Black Tower. Rod
yeah.
the Tower of the Rod River. I love Robert Jordan's world building.
So you guys are both going Wheel of Time, or?
Yeah.
I might actually go Italian Town.
Okay, Rodravar is a Wheel of Time name.
All right, Frenzy.
Tehera,
Stone
commander
of Tyr, right?
of the defenders of the Stone of Tyr.
Hey!
Very good.
Wow,
Extra
bonus
point for
points.
Frenzy.
Bonus points, bonus points. What are you
All
going
right.
to do with those bonus points? All right, so
What's going to do with those bonus points?
what are you going to do with those bonus points? Those bonus points, those bonus points.
I'm going to go spend them.
Sin Khalide.
Khalide.
I'm going to put them up my butt. Up my butt. I'm going to put those up my butt.
In the prison wallet, right?
Yeah.
Put a pencil up your butt. Jeez, up your butt. Remember, there was an Eddie Murphy song where he's just putting things up his butt. Guys, Google it. Google it. I'm not seriously.
And
All
then, yeah, make sure your parents.
Eddie
know.
Murphy is weird sometimes, and watching Raw and Delirious with your kids is hard to do now.
Ice cream. You can't afford it.
Because you're a welfare.
All right, guys, we might copyright. La 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 la.
That doesn't look like any McDonald's I know.
All right, Sin Khalid or Sin Khalid.
Wheel of Time name. Why not?
Pharmaceutical.
All right, you guys are half right. It is a pharmaceutical drug.
What do you think it does, Frenzy?
Without something, Sin Khalid. It makes you cold. I don't know.
It aids in diagnosing disorders of the gallbladder and pancreas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was close.
Very
Not
close.
really, but-
Very close.
But no
Gallbladder
cigar.
keeps you warm. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, next.
Well, that's the woman who kidnaps Fail, huh? Savannah. Italian Town. I'm going to say Italian Town.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Italian Town, too.
It is an Italian town.
Well done, guys. Well done.
That's where Mario is from.
Let's go.
That's a bit of a racism.
Why?
Yeah, everybody knows he's Japanese. Come on.
Yes.
Viterbo.
Oh,
Viterbo.
Ask your doctor.
Wheel of Time name.
Italian Town.
Right.
Oh my goodness! It is an Italian town.
Oh, shit.
Ding, 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 ding,
Ding
ding.
ding 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 ding! I am multitasking. All right, next up is.
Did that one.
Next up is.
Try it again.
Clancor.
Glencore.
Glencore. That sounds like a Scottish town.
Doesn't it?
Glencore. Ask your doctor. Glencore is right for you.
I'm going to go with the old time name.
I'm going to go with pharmaceutical.
All right, it is a Wheel of Time name. It's a town just northeast of Farmatting. Glencore. Imagine what the bar scene's like in Glencore.
Formatting, baby. All right.
Let's continue on with what? Yes? No?
Go.
Yeah,
Go.
yeah, let's,
right.
yeah.
Ardea. Italian town.
Pharmaceutical.
It's an Italian town. Let's
Hey.
do two more.
Two more. That sounds great.
Affirmo. Wheel of Time name, it sounds like.
Pharmaceutical.
It is a pharmaceutical.
It's an oral contrast, yeah.
Yeah, so if you don't want to get pregnant through the mouth, you put that in your mouth.
Firm L.
Okay.
Put something firm in your mouth. There you go.
And then last but not least is
Correct.
Cack. It sounds
It's
Klingon.
what's that thing where it reads forward and backwards?
Palindrome.
It's a palindrome.
Why isn't palindrome a palindrome?
Good.
Correct.
Yeah, correct should be the
I'm
name
gonna
they use for palindrome.
Say what name?
I'm going to say what name too.
It's used to treat symptoms of actinic keratosis.
Oh,
All right, so yes, that's been another episode of Pharmaceutical What Name or Italian Town.
Everyone lift your feet because it's sweeping the nation. So
I
if
think-
we can just get under you, that'd be great.
Show your gout-ridden big toe because it's good for you.
ooh.
Ooh.
This is the color. I don't get any circulation.
Oh my god.
The G-toe.
It's been dead for years.
Oh my god.
All right, guys.
That
That was
dark.
the
Dark.
new game.
Darkest shit you've ever said. Go
All right.
on.
No, yeah, it just all right. Gross. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into thank you, internet. Is there any like plugs and stuff we want to do any right now, Ryan?
Well, let's have these fine
Because we
folks
got yeah.
plug their own products and our sites or Etsy accounts or parents' garage sales.
Or kids lacrosse games coming up, anything, bands are
PTA
playing.
Drama. Tune into Loyal's Book Club. It's a first-time reader podcast. We started with The Dragon Reborn. We're now on The Shadow Rising. We record every Friday. We try to, and we release every Thursday. If you all aren't doing anything after this, we're going live.
Oh, awesome! Yeah, everyone jump in.
That was my wait, I have a joke, I promise. That was my plug.
You did
I hope.
Oh,
Oh man, now he's gonna have to reset his VCR.
yeah, it's like
That thing's
yeah,
gonna
it's
blink
gonna
12
blink
again.
12.
12,
Yeah.
12. Like, where's the manual?
12, 12, 12, 12.
How about you,
That was
Brady?
funny. That was
My
very
laser
funny.
disc.
Friends,
Well, yeah, I'll plug the Dusty Wheel. I'm sure everybody's hung out at the inn a time or two. The show coming up this Wednesday is How Did Rand Light the Pipe? And spoiler alert, it's just a terangrial. It's just a terangrial.
What?
oh, what? Anyone
What?
can do it.
The pipe is a triangle?
Yes.
Okay.
Spoiler.
Wow.
Interesting.
Wow.
So,
So
if you
anyone
walked
can
around
use
like
it.
try
It
to
just
light
has-
like someone else's pipe. Okay.
That is
Well-
a hot take.
He can only light his own pipe then?
we don't kink shame.
Come on, baby, light my pipe.
I've never called into the Dusty Wheel, but I may call in on Wednesday just to try to push this sort of. I love that theory. Yeah. He's nothing. It was just some magic little thing that. Oh, that's right. This thing automatically lights. It's like saying, "Oh, it's windy, but I got a windproof lighter." Oh, that's right.
Was it because it was in his pocket when he battled the Dark Lord, and then when he came out, it just was a magical pipe?
Well, doesn't he? Well, because this is gonna sound. When he switches bodies with Morden, does he still have the ability to channel, or is that like a no?
It's implied he does not.
Okay.
Is Morden?
Hence the mystery for the past 7 years.
Yes.
Do you think Morden was well hung? Was Rand stoked to have that body?
See,
well,
You think Rand got that
He seemed really stoked. He was he was skipping down that what? He was super stoked. I just thought of that.
Oh my god.
I mean, imagine getting in a body and all of a sudden you're like, oh no.
You didn't see but Rand helicoptered
no.
a couple times and then went, all right, let's go. He just went,
seriously, yeah.
Every time one of those black dot saw crossed his eyes, my theory is, he's just having a dirty thought.
oh my god.
Yes. He's like bosoms.
Yeah.
Bosoms, bosoms,
Bosoms.
bosoms. All right, let us jump into it. So what I've been scouring the internet. The internet is a big thing, right? And there's a lot of funny people on there. I don't give them credit here. I'm just saying that there's funny, and we're showing off the best Wheel of Time memes that I found, mostly on Wetlander Humor. And I'll just we call this thank you internet. All right, let me. Okay, thank you, internet. Here we have Tom hanging out with Moraine. Morgaze is nearly drowning, and Dina's long dead. Thank you, internet.
Yeah, we all know Tom doesn't do anything unless a woman dies.
He's like, I'll teach you to swim. Let's do it. All right. All right, here's a sign. Notice, whoever is placing the copies of pornographic literature in here, stop. Emmons Field is a good, God-fearing Christian village. If this filth is to your liking, may we suggest that you move to the cesspit that is Terrence Field.
Oh my god.
Now, to be honest, it's not the cesspit, it's this.
The cess.
Yeah, they had to save the space there.
Is this a sneak round of Italian Town Pharmaceutical or what name?
I really wish I knew these town names, the real town names.
Girls. That's the pornographic literature is this Meadow Girls back there. I'm now interested. I'm curious.
Someone put in Harry Potter.
The Saldean farm girls. They're like the Saldean farm girls, aren't they?
And
all right, we got a Dark Hound.
Nice.
All right. So thank you, internet.
thank you, internet.
Thank you.
Oh, a bubble of evil has occurred. Attention, the 9th floor has been temporarily moved to the 15th floor.
Thank you, internet.
Thank you, internet.
Internet.
Crazy.
All right, this is Tom and Rain's love story. And here's first-time readers not seeing the signs.
Oh my god. Nice.
Who's that weirdo in the background? God, is he like
Matt?
even know these people?
Hey, buddy. All right.
I don't think that guy even knows the wedding party. Thank you, internet.
Thank you, internet.
Eating spaghettis and meatballs and drinking wine. That's a little young to be drinking wine there, kid, but more fun. All right, thank you, internet.
Thank you, internet.
Here's the swear jar. Here's the swear jar after Uno has 2 lines of dialogue.
Nice.
Nice.
Flamin'.
That's why I fan cast Uno as R2D2 because everything is beeped out.
Yeah.
Nice.
He's like, R2, watch your mouth. R2, I swear. Sorry, thank you, internet.
Thank you, internet.
Thank you, internet.
All right, this is me whenever a white cloud opens their damn mouth. I got that Arthur angry fist.
Oh my god.
I don't know. I love this. This is my favorite one.
Yeah. It's a good one.
All right, thank you, internet. All right. Curved blades? No, thank you. Oddly curved blades?
Oh
now
my
we're
God.
talking.
Nice.
If you know what I mean.
If you know what I mean.
If you know,
Thank you,
know.
Drake.
Thank you, internet.
Oh my God.
Study say farmers have more sex than any other profession. Just a thing. Just, way to go,
those
farm boys.
girls. Yeah.
All right,
Those
thank you,
farm
internet.
boys.
Thank you.
Nynaeve equals.
My name is the Hulk.
Yeah.
There you go. Look at that braid. Look at that braid.
Yeah.
Look at that face. All right, thank you, internet.
Thank you.
This is just Rand.
Hey, Brain, how's it going?
Juliana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, internet. All right, this is.
Crossroads of Twilight was not that bad. It was not that bad.
Come on, do something. All right, thank you, internet.
Thank you, internet.
Gracias, internet.
Nynaeve, you need to stop thinking with the hair on your chest. Matt, you need to stop thinking with the hair above your lip. Oh. legend is born.
Oh my god.
I like how Lucerne is just kind of hanging out outside.
Right in Rand's head almost. Yeah. And Matt's like, hell yeah. Thank you, Internet.
Thank you,
All right,
Internet.
just a couple more here. Swan, sorry, baby.
Oh my god.
No fish guts for you.
Oh,
All right.
Oh.
Thank you, Internet.
no
Thank
fish.
you,
Internet.
Thank you.
All right, we got a couple of the Hobbit. We're so knocking on the door.
Land off.
Followed by
Oh my god. A Landolph.
Elandolf.
Oh my god.
All right, back to Landolf. Back to Elandolf. All right, those are good. Thank you, Internet.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Internet.
Internet.
Here's the pattern. Why is it when something happens, it is always you three?
Oh my god.
The pattern
Yeah.
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 And
Yeah.
Matt's looking exactly as Matt's supposed to be looking right there. Hold on, let's.
Yeah.
Uh,
You're just
Yeah.
zooming in on the tits.
there you go. There it is.
Badger.
That's your bed.
There it is. All right. Thank you, Internet.
Thank you.
Thank you, Internet.
Well.
Hey,
It gets worse with each glance. Thank you, Internet.
apparently, Dan saved that one for you.
Oh my god.
What is that porno that was? Oh my
Oh no.
All right. Thank you, Internet. All right. Here's Egwene all the time. I'm coming and you can't stop me. Right. Where are we going?
Oh my god.
She's just adventure.
Oh.
All right.
you, Internet.
And last one. Guys,
my-
you're fully vaccinated. People can touch Sliding without going mad.
Perfect.
Where do you touch it?
Wherever you want it.
Hey.
Come on, I throw a nice softball at you. Where do you touch it?
In its taint. In the
There you
taint.
go. Thank
There.
you. Thank you.
Here's that college degree. That's where it got me.
Gotcha.
Guys, that
That
was
elbow. God, that elbow.
yeah.
I'm dying here. Oh shit. That was worth the price of admission.
Right to the taint.
Guys, it has been quite the show. We're at over 3 hours. Let's wrap
my
this
God.
up. Let's wrap
Okay.
this up.
Oh,
Frenzy, my
Yes.
dear, you are now our official new best friend. I love you. Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh,
You
Thank
bring
you,
credibility to this silly little puppet show. Oh, and as always, if you guys want some good sleepwear, we have a deal with Village Mattress, 30 to 50% off, and
Nice.
he's our sponsor. So we'll whip through
Nice.
these. Just look at them sheets, right?
Wow.
Wow, you get 30 to 50%.
Yeah, go to villagefurnitureandmattress.com for this exclusive deal. Mention the Way of the Leaf. Yeah, you can basically call Chris at 317-523-6831, or you can email him at villagemattress@gmail.com. Literally, he will walk you through the sale process. He's amazing. This is
And he's a friend.
high-end
He's a
stuff.
friend of the community. He's a friend of the show. He's a family-owned business. And if this is what you're looking for, seriously, give him a call and see if it works. If it doesn't, no sweat. But shit,
Yep.
man, give it a try.
Yeah.
If you've ever wanted to help the Way of the Leaf, please buy some shit from Chris.
Prince Adolin's husband at Loyal's Book Club.
Yes.
You guys are at episode 10 now. Is that correct?
Yes, we're gonna. Oh my god! Wait, are we recording our 10th episode tonight? I think we are.
This is exciting.
Ah!
You can find at on Discord. I know. Where else do you have anywhere where there's podcasts?
Yes, we're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Anchor. We're on a couple other platforms, but yeah, the big ones, Spotify and Apple Podcasts. You can find us there.
Awesome. And he's about to record in about 20 minutes, so
Yeah,
guys, jump on in. I'm gonna go in there.
Damn, we're up to 447 subscribers. We just got 4 in an hour.
Wow, you guys!
Thank you guys. This is the Frenzy Bump, the Prince Adolin's husband's bump.
Yeah, there we go.
No,
Let's do it. Hey guys, a rising tide lifts all boats. Let's do it.
Yep. No, thank you guys for bringing some class to this shitty show we got.
Hey, come on.
I think the audience got to see the deeper side of the brothers.
Whether they wanted to or not.
yeah.
Yeah. That's usually the case. Yeah.
Yeah, they got to see where we hide our weapons.
All right, we love you guys. Thank you for coming on. And everyone go listen to the podcast in about 20 minutes. Loyal's Book Club, and we can find that on Discord.
Yes, I can link the server link in the chat.
In the chat right now. Yeah, awesome.
Do it right now. We will not have a post-game chat because we all want to go participate in this recording.
Yeah.
Prince Adolin, you got to do some stretches, do some vocal exercises. You did great. That was a 3-hour slog.
This is
you guys kill it.
You guys get a in-depth look as to what my vocal warm-up is. Okay, this is 4 years of study. All right, ready?
Okay.
Okay.
Woo! Warm.
Nice. I think that's how you wake up every morning, right?
Yeah.
You just wake up.
Warm.
Woo!
Let's
Warm.
do this.
All
Done.
right, I am posting that link into the server, the spoiler chat section.
Oh,
Awesome.
yeah. Well, yeah. And do it also in the YouTube chat also.
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
can.
throw it
yes,
right
yes,
in the YouTube chat. Yeah.
So, and
Yeah.
Frenzy, when's your next appearance going to be on the Dusty Wheel?
It's not this week. Oh God, it's coming up soon though.
Okay, so
It's like 2 or 3 episodes. We're
so
gonna be finishing up the Dragon Reborn.
oh, beautiful,
Ooh.
beautiful.
It's such a good book, too.
That was a great episode. Seriously. So being
So
a
much
guest
fun.
on our show, you guys get a dusty rag. You get a choice between a dusty mop, a dusty rag, or a dusty book cover of a old. So yeah, so we'll talk about that later.
What? Right. Okay. Right. There you go. I'm handing that to you. There.
A dusty, yeah, that's all. Obviously, super humor. All right, we love you guys.
Yeah,
Thank you,
be
and we're
good.
sorry.
I love you and I'm proud of you. Bye.
Thank you all.
See you.
All right.
Bye, guys.